Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the SherbertLand podcast.
We're on week 6. I'm already starting to lose count. We're moving on up.
Yeah, we are.
Pretty soon, we won't even remember the number until we start editing it.
Probably.
6. So it's been more than a month.
It has.
Which is pretty good. I feel like that's the initial growth period, and now we're full grown.
No, I think we're in the changing period.
Okay. So we were larvae, and now we're pupas.
Yes.
Okay. Not quite in our chrysalis phase.
That comes next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Bugs are cool. I wish humans had such distinct stages of evolution, individually.
Have you ever collected bugs?
No, that's gross. I hated bugs. Bugs are my favorite things to look at on TV and video, and then I saw them in real life and cried.
When I was a kid, there was a ladybug colony in my backyard. And what I did is I just gathered all of them up into this little cage.
Oh yeah?
One of those bug cages.
Yeah.
I put leaves in there and all that, and I kept them in my garage. And I looked at them until they all died.
Hey, you know what? We all had our little... See, as a kid, I actually had cousins who forced me to stand barefoot in an anthill. So, we have different histories with bugs, so...
I think I also remember a butterfly hitting a window.
Oh, I hate butterflies.
And then I used to always, go and capture butterflies.
Butterflies are gross, especially when, their wings... Never touch a butterfly's wings. They, dissolve on your fingers.
Huh.
And then they're gross and flying, trying to... Ah!
I thought you liked bugs.
Okay, I like beetles. I think beetles are super cool. Pretty much every other
beetles.
What?
These are creepy.
Beetles are cool.
Yuck.
Especially like big horned ones.
Oh.
Yeah, those are cool. No, butterflies suck.
And then there's bees.
You know what? No, but here's the thing. I think bees have a horrible reputation.
Well, one stung me behind the ear, so fuck them.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been stung by a bee. I think people freak out too much by bees.
And then all of a sudden I hear this loud buzzing sound. And I'm like...
Okay, but how do you know it was a bee and not a wasp? Because wasps are bad.
Both of them are bad.
Hornets are bad. No, bees...
I guess, yes, okay.
Bees are good. Bees give us honey. They're fuzzy little dudes.
Blame that stinger.
Okay, yes. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You're done
with
the bees?
I think so. I'm done with the bees.
Okay, you're done with the bees. Let's get into the actual podcast then.
Okay.
So first off, we have some news. News.
Beep-boo.
No, I was doing the TV news stuff. It's like breaking news. So, okay, first off, contest reminder. I said that last week was this is the last day for it. No, I'm super wrong. We have one more week left for our Xbox One games contest. Check link in the description. The codes are right behind me right now.
Just making sure they're still there.
Just make sure though that these are North America only codes. We got a bunch of people from Puerto Rico sending in their stuff, and I'm not sure if the codes will work for them.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening, but yeah, we don't know if the codes will work for you.
We'd love to get them to you.
Yeah, but we're not buying new games, and so check the description for that. And also, we now have a Twitter account.
Twitter, yeah, I made it last night.
What is the @? Because I'm still not 100%.
It's at SherbertLand podcast.
SherbertLand podcast. Hey, that works for me for sure.
In case we decide to actually properly spell.
No, I now love the spelling of it because
I don't know
because here's the thing: the incorrect spelling now makes us have our own unique brand, so that you can't.
But if we ever become popular, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, you're spelling it wrong."
No, it's like Toys R Us, with the R backwards.
Not really.
It's a stylistic choice.
Yeah, it would just say it's
and it totally was not done by mistake.
No, it was
no, it was completely intentional.
100% intentional. But yeah, that's where we're gonna. That you want to send us your questions now to that that Twitter page,
and we'll be posting news and maybe some other stuff there. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep it as relevant as possible. I'll keep my shit posts on my page.
Yeah.
So let's go into life stuff.
All right. Oh, life stuff, right?
Yes, life stuff.
You want to start?
So, I started teaching.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about this kindergarten situation.
I obviously I cannot tell all the stories. I'm under a teacher confidentiality act and stuff. But all I'm going to say is, going from doing everything in junior high to kindergarten was one of the scariest things in my life. They are not the same as junior high kids at all.
Did you like expect that?
I expected structure, at least, you know.
No.
That's the thing. So when I got there, it's like, what's the lesson plan? And it's like, lesson plan, you're just watching them. And I'm like, but what do I do with them? Just teach them stuff. What do you mean stuff?
Basic.
Like, I had no idea. So then they're like, you gotta sing the weather song with them. And I'm like, what's the weather song? I don't know the weather song. And they're like, didn't they teach you the weather song in university? And I'm like, no, I'm secondary trained. I was taught everything relating to junior high and high school students. So that was a brand new world for me.
Do you remember being in kindergarten?
No. Okay, I do a bit, but I don't... I remember the interactions I had with friends, but none of the actual learning part. I remember putting pencils in my sleeves and being like, look at me, I'm Stingmon from Digimon.
Oh my god.
Spinning strike. And like my friends would do that. We pretend to be Goku and do stuff like that. That's about it. I don't remember any of the learning part.
No, I remember just having like, there's this like sink and then we just like played like with toy boats in the water.
Yeah, so but you can't even think about what the teacher was doing in that.
No,
right?
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, like the teacher is such a...
The teacher was like non-existent.
It's like a foreign concept, right? So like, it was... So thankfully, come Monday, I'm at the same school, but I'm teaching grade 4, 5, and 6 French.
Okay.
Which I told my mom, and she's like, oh, that must be worse. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Teaching a foreign language to actual people who understand what you're saying is awesome. I can do that. That's easy. So
how long were you alone for with those kindergartners?
So here's the thing. There was about 15 kindergartners, and there was 5 adults in the room, including me. Even still, it felt out of hand.
Oh my god.
So kindergarten is tough, and I don't think I will be accepting any more kindergarten jobs ever again. I think grade 4 might be my limit. Any younger, and they are...
Grade 3 wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you get into grade 1, you actually start... Because literally... You know, you have to follow the program of studies. It's the guide on teaching, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, in this year, you have to teach. Here's a list of, 35 things for each subject, right? So, there is none for kindergarten. It doesn't have it. And so, it's like, it's not for me. And I think that we should...
Props to those people who
I think we should give extra money to those in kindergarten, like veteran money, because for the PTSD of working with these with children.
Yeah,
like
I'm not a fan of kids, and I could not imagine.
So yeah, it was tough. Not for me. And there was a lot of it where it's like I've always been told, and I feel like this is common knowledge, and the fact that we're taught this in university over and over is weird. Don't touch kids. You should never, under any circumstance, make physical contact with a child, because it can... many bad paths go from there.
Yeah.
And so, at one point, they're like, just grab that child off of there. And I'm like, no, I can't. I physically, it's been so ingrained into me that my body cannot do that. It has been such a firm, been taught into me that I can't. So, yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah. Well, at least
thankfully,
you learned. It was a learning experience for you.
And come Thursday and Friday, I'm at a junior high. So I'm like, subbing for my old gym teacher, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that's nice. The fact, and he requested me. So I'll take that.
That's neat.
I'll take that. Yeah. So, that's really about it. Otherwise, I've been pretty much just at home chilling and enjoying my last couple days of freedom before I got all my papers in order, and now I can teach. Oh, I also had a horrible allergy attack and nearly died.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What happened there?
We went to because we're coming home and we're like we want food. And what do we want? Oh, let's get Chinese. Oh, but the Chinese place we usually go to isn't close by. There's a Panda Hut nearby. Let's go to the Panda Hut. And we went there, and they're like, okay, we'll get the order for 4, family of 4 bundle. Mm-hmm. And they said, do you want deep fried shrimp or satay chicken? And I was like, well, we're already getting the peach shrimp, which is so good. Oh my god, peach shrimp. But so we're like, let's get the satay chicken. We didn't know it was a peanut satay chicken.
Oh.
Meaning, they not only cover it in peanuts, but cook in it in peanut oil, and it is like through and through peanutted. So I had one, and I've been pretty good. Like, I've been eating small trace amounts of peanuts and not getting allergy stuff.
Yeah.
This one was so concentrated that my throat seized up and my chest was hurting, and I was like, I may be dying. So I took some Benadryl, and my family's like, you're not going downstairs and playing games. Well, you are dying. So I had to stay upstairs. And after it went away, I was up there with my mom. She was watching me to make sure I'm not dying. At one point, I went, grabbed my neck and freaked out. And she's like, ah! And I'm like, no, it's okay, man, I'm fine. And she's like, I hate you. So, but that sucked.
Yeah, that's why.
They did not warn about that at all. There was no signs or anything that it had peanuts. So it'd be nice if they put that.
Could sue them.
We're both. I mean, we could, but whatever. That's legal stuff I don't want to deal with.
Yeah, so after what you went through.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So we're both allergic to nuts, though. Yeah. So that's fun.
Another page to say that we're long lost brothers.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what was your week for non-game stuff?
Nothing too new. I think the most notable thing, I went to D&D for the first time in a while.
Nice.
Last night. There were about 8 people, which got kind of problematic. Even my DM, Colton.
Yes. Good guy.
He brought up some issues with the big groups because not everyone had time to shine. And I barely talked because everyone was doing stuff.
I think a party of 4 is pretty much
that's what he wants to do.
That's the best.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We got attacked by frog people, Murlocs.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, no. A Murloc it's a general fantasy thing that was then put into WoW and other stuff.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't aware of that. D&D predates 90% of the Final Fantasy monsters, 90% of the World of Warcraft monsters, and then they all got just adapted by it.
Oh.
Literally, there is an Eye of the Beholder, the D&D monster in Final Fantasy 1. It is very based in, that's D&D was the start of all that.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Do you know there's a Monster Hunter D&D campaign?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fun to play.
Oh, yeah. They're just making up the rule set for the world one, adding in all the world stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw on the Monster Hunter Reddit about that stuff.
Yep.
Other than that, I was told I was, whenever you gets or someone says something to you that completely changes your viewing of yourself.
Yeah, okay.
I was told I was a very serious person, and I'm like,
I can see that if you're not. Yeah, but I can see that about you. I can see that.
Yeah, I take my work seriously because I want to make money, but I'm I did not know that about myself, honestly.
Okay, I will say you have a serious exterior. I will say that.
Huh.
Mind you, I'm pretty serious when I'm in a professional setting, of course.
But I've never seen you. Yeah.
Oh, it's quite different. But once when I'm with friends or even with people who are colleagues I'm a little closer to, or even on a Friday when I'm teaching or something, it's you open up. But of course, when you're not gonna be kind of yourself around people who aren't your good friends, because you can't do that. I mean, there's people who take to certain personalities as poorly. So, yeah,
that's just made me think about myself.
Yeah, you get one of those every now and then for sure.
Yeah, I don't have as exciting as a life as you. So
okay, let's head on to playing then, and we'll start with you.
Okay, well I just playing a few things this week. Haven't really had time to play Monster Hunter. I wish I did, but work. Well, I play the game I decided to play that while I was on call is Oxenfree.
Oh yeah.
Have you played that?
No. I've heard the name and I confused it with the other game where you're like a person carrying a cart with a princess in it. That was the one I always thought Oxenfree was. Yeah, I always thought Oxenfree was Chariot.
They have like
wildly
different art styles.
They're so different. Well, no, it's just because I hear the name, right? And when I hear Oxenfree, I think of like an oxen, like the animal. And then I think of like, no oxen, so you're carrying the cart instead. So Chariot. So my mind was always that, and I only recently learned that is not that game.
No.
So yeah,
it's really story driven.
Yep.
It's the way the characters talk to one another it's like actually like extremely natural.
Yeah,
like
that's
some
good.
of the best. Because when people are talking, you can like interrupt them, and it sounds like you interrupt them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they like go back if they want to like continue, or if they don't feel the need.
That's an interesting mechanic, actually.
The music is incredible.
What type of style is it?
It's almost like techno, but like that eerie techno almost.
Oh, okay, so like Stranger Things kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
The plot, like what everything's centered around, is quite creepy.
Okay.
It's like kind of a borderline horror game. But yeah.
Okay. Anything else? I know there's one thing that you've been playing. So I see you ranting about it on the Discord.
Overwatch.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm coming to the point where I'm not enjoying the game anymore.
Maybe
in solo queue.
Maybe you just need a break from it.
I've been taking breaks between events. I don't play the game.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe you need another bigger break.
I know, but like missing that event stuff.
But it comes back. It always comes back. You wait a year, which, in all honesty, seems like a long time until it actually isn't.
But yeah, like I enjoy myself when I'm playing with friends to an extent.
Okay.
But solo queue, it is so easy to get shut out now. Mm-hmm. Where if you aren't like coordinating, if you aren't like top your game, this isn't even competitive. This is in quick play.
Wow, that
if you're doing the best you can do, you are going to lose.
Doesn't sound very fun.
But no, it's not. Aside from that, the event the Lunar New Year event is, I think, better than last year's. They expanded the capture the flag mode, which
I've heard people saying it's good this year.
It's actually really good. They changed the mechanics. They have in the custom game mode, they have capture the flag 2017 and then capture the flag basic.
Oh, cool.
2017 is where you had to stay on the flag for a bit and not get damaged.
Oh, that sucks.
But now it's like instant pickup.
Yeah,
but you can't use speed enhancing abilities. You drop the flag.
Okay, yeah, so, that sounds a lot better.
It is a lot better.
Yeah.
So you can't use Soldier's Run or Reaper's Glide Away.
Okay.
There's a new map. I cannot pronounce it. Touhou.
Okay.
It's a Thailand map.
Okay. Yeah, people will probably just call it Thailand.
Yeah. Half of it's the really fancy palace stuff, where the other half is ruins.
Okay.
Yeah, and the center's a big giant elephant statue.
Cool.
I really like that map.
And is it Lunar New Year based or just kind of a generic map?
It's a new map for Capture the Flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exclusively Capture the Flag.
Okay.
Whereas other maps are tuned to it.
Okay.
The skins, they're really good. Have you seen them?
I've seen most of them. Yeah. Just from gliding through Twitter and stuff.
Dragon Spirit ones.
Not the dragon spirits, but the four Chinese gods.
Yeah, Chinese gods.
It's the dragon, lion, phoenix, and turtle.
Yeah, turtle is Zarya. Phoenix is Mercy, I believe. What were the other two?
Lion.
Oh, I can't remember Farah.
Yeah, and then dragon.
Which is Genji.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah. Genji's skin is, I think, the best.
Mm-hmm.
Other than those four, there's McCree's new skin.
Oh, yeah. Kind of...
Yeah, weird
Chinaman McCree.
You see, the gun? It's
Yeah, you know what?
It's like a firecracker.
I'm fine.
I like his new highlight intro, though.
Which ones? What's he do?
He like takes a cigar and like looks behind him and sees like the fireworks, and he just tosses it behind him and it explodes while he walks away.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Trying to think of other skins. 4 or 5. There's at least 2 more I can't think of right now.
I know there's just some like more generic, just Chinese looking ones.
I think those are from last year.
Are they?
Like the epic ones. There was only legendary skins this event.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, oh yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, it's down there.
It's down there.
It's down there. Don't worry.
We'll actually just bump it up.
Sure, we'll do it right now.
They added finally after like a year and more. They added skin swapping to right before a match.
Okay, so when people kept saying skin swapping, it made it sound like there was a trade function added.
Oh.
So that's why I wrote skin changing, because I don't like the word swapping. It implies a mutual benefit,
which they could add next.
Yeah.
Like, that's because they wanted to add the skin changing since like launch. But no, they finally did. And it's like, outside of events, I use it, but like, I like to keep event skins on when the events actually happen.
You did hear about the downside to it though, right?
The glitch?
Is it a glitch that it resets your alt meter?
That's a glitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw people say, "No, you want fashion? That's what you pay."
It doesn't make sense because like you can only change them when you're at the beginning of the game before the game actually like starts.
Oh, really? You can't do it between rounds?
So I'm like, how? Oh, it already resets between rounds.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I'm a casual observer of the game, so I don't know.
I mean, like, I hate to say, like, I'm not enjoying the game anymore, but, like, because I love everything about it, except, like, the core experience, almost.
So, just wait for the single-player campaign.
But, like, Uprising is the next event, and I loved
What if, for Uprising, we get, like, an actual, like, linear level you have to go through?
That would be cool.
A Halo campaign level. That's what we need in my eyes to really get people playing. Just add like 10 of them, make up a 2-hour campaign. People would be down on multiple difficulties,
Maybe.
I think that'd be the best way to go.
I don't think that's like what Blizzard wants, though.
Yeah, but...
Blizzard wants what Blizzard wants, and Blizzard gets what Blizzard gets.
Maybe Blizzard needs to just hire the Metroid Prime people to make a level.
What's realistically going to happen is probably going to be that same Uprising event, but told in a different perspective.
Play as the bad guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or not the bad guys, not as the robots, but like as Blackwatch or something.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, that's it for Overwatch. I started Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. It's the first time I've played it like through and through.
Yep.
I'm like about maybe like a little bit over halfway. I don't see all the hype around it.
The hype is that it was on the PS2 doing all this.
I guess, yeah.
Like on the PS2, this game was a technical marvel.
But now it's just like, it's an empty open world.
So, but yeah, a lot of people say, yeah, it's empty, but there are things to do, because you can look
there's things to do.
You can look for the lizards and the fruit, which increase your meters.
Yeah. Those lizards are bitches.
Oh yeah, they suck. But like it's about the atmosphere. It's like it's a big empty world, but there's a reason why, and I can definitely see why, like, it not being worth the hype.
I'm glad it's not like full price.
Yeah,
it's
no,
$50.
that would not go over very well.
Yeah, the Colossus fights, like they're really good though.
Oh yeah,
like the camera, how the camera works and all that, how you can like, it's all cinematic and it's really cool.
Yep, no. It's cool, though I do kind of wish that for this one, they added in the Lost Colossuses. Because I heard
rumors that they did. There's like new gold coins in the world, and you get something really cool if you get all of them.
It's not new bosses, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I think they've like recently like discovered that mystery behind it.
Really? Oh, yeah. Huh. No, because it's like there was about 15 Colossi that have artwork. Some of them have models that weren't added to the game, and some of them were really cool.
One of them was a spider, I believe.
Yeah, and there was a one that was like the phoenix, and it was like a flaming bird, and it was real cool. Like, it was still stone, but had like on the non-stone parts flames.
Oh, that's cool.
Like there was a monkey that would like swing around on its tail. Like there was some really cool ones that just never got made. And so I would have hoped that they would have, added a bit more, but...
You ever think it's going to be a sequel? To Shadow of the Colossus?
There's one already.
There is?
It's called The Last Guardian.
I mean, like, in that, like...
Not in the same way, no.
No?
Because, we got... there was never a sequel to Ico.
Fair enough.
But it's in the same world as Shadow of the Colossus, which is in the same world as Last Guardian. So it all kind of wraps together, but they're different games. Now, have you read the leaked Shadow of the Colossus Hollywood movie script?
No.
Oh my god. So they were going to make a Shadow of the Colossus Hollywood movie, and it completely screws up every single aspect of the game, and people are so happy it never came out. So number one, it takes place before the game, so you don't even see the Colossuses.
What?
It's about how Wander in the village was a little bit of a cheeky one, going around stealing bread, and he's hopping on all the stalls, and it's basically just Aladdin with him as Aladdin and the girl on the pedestal as Jasmine. And it talks about, but why is she like that? Why did he get banished?
Oh,
it's bad. Huh. And it's one of the most, like, I've never been more happy a movie didn't get made, because it's bad. Like, it's a bad script. So, like, yeah.
Doesn't mean it could be a bad movie, though.
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay.
Like, that's how bad this script is.
Huh.
It's bad. So give that a read if you want to know about how Hollywood almost screwed up a national treasure of a game. So.
All right. Other than that, I played Monster Hunter yesterday for like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Played the new event quest with the two Bariths.
Okay.
And the Diablos.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I killed him at first try.
Did you do the Kieran quests?
No.
Oh.
I don't want to do those like.
So okay,
those new monsters until I like.
Just for reference, I am in high rank and I have not found low rank Kieran yet. So
okay.
I think that quest might be the only way to get low rank Kieran for now.
Okay.
Because I know there's some monsters which you can only unlock by, like you know on the quest list how there's like the stars by them, and you might see a check mark by them if you completed them all. Mm-hmm. You have to complete all the quests to unlock some monsters.
Oh, okay.
And so, but that includes you have to trap every monster in that tier and do the arena quest of them. So that's a good number of quests. So I would just go do that now, because it's actually a really interesting fight, because there's no monster in the game like Kieran. It is a horse-sized horse, which fighting Monster Hunter style is different.
Huh.
So yeah, I'd go do that. I did that myself. So
the other event quest with the 3 lizards.
Yes, I haven't done that
chaotic.
Yet. Yeah, no, I thought it.
I can't even do that one yet because I'm not that high.
I just got to do that one because I just met Odogaron. No, not Odogaron. The Dodogama, the blast lizard.
Is it with one with like the big sack? Yeah, I haven't fought that one yet.
Nope, you get him in the last area.
Okay.
So
I hear I'm almost on the story mode.
Where are you at?
I just have to kill Diablos.
Oh yeah, after Diablos, then you pretty much fight Zora Magdaros for the final battle, and then you're done low rank.
Cool.
So, but no, you're not done story mode.
Oh really?
Oh no, I'm still in story mode.
Oh, I thought story mode, and I thought that's the tutorial story mode.
No. The joke is that the tutorial is low rank.
Oh, okay.
Because once you get into high rank, every monster kind of equals out in level, so that it's no longer, fighting a Great Jagras is easier than fighting an Anjanath just by stat-wise. Mm. Like, they do the same amount of damage. Yeah, their behavior is different, but they do the same amount of damage and take the same amount of hits.
Oh, okay.
So it's definitely different. It's like, that's where the game kind of truly starts. But no, like, there is definitely story, like, to the end of high rank.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I look forward to that.
Yep. I mean, because, like, once you beat Zora Magdaros, it almost feels like it could be the end of the game with, like, a big celebration and stuff, but that's not the end. So, I actually went and farmed Zora Magdaros recently, because once you beat the one that's in... Because once you beat the game, then Zora Magdaros will randomly appear, and you can fight him and get the high rank rewards for him. It's the same fight pretty much, but with a different ending, which I won't spoil. But by doing that, then you can actually craft his armor and stuff. So I have full Zora Magdaros armor, which is really cool because I guess I'm going down to my week book games.
Yeah, they're just slowly transitioning.
Yeah, so then I got the full Zora Magdaros armor, which it has an ability that your critical hits do extra status stuff. Your any explosions do extra damage, and any fire period, so that includes explosion, does extra damage. So now, combine that with the fact that I got his dual blades, which are blast element, meaning
oh my god,
if you hit an enemy enough with them, there's an explosion. So you can basically do these crazy combos and you just see them start to explode with big 200s appearing every time they explode. Combine that with like the ability to, it's gone to go to sleep in its cave or whatever. Place bombs around it. Then I do demon mode, and then I hit those bombs, and you just see like 400, and then you see where you hit it, it's like 250, and it's like, oh, beautiful. So it's a fun set. The only thing is that it is really weak to water and ice, which is like, whatever. But the set itself is a lot of fun, and just going around demon moding and causing explosions. Because it's the way it works is every time you hit it, you kind of fill up an invisible status bar. So when it gets to full, then if it's, sleep element, then they go to sleep. If it's paralyzed element, they're paralyzed. If it's blast element, they explode. So lots of explosions, lots of fun. So I'm about at 60 hours in Monster Hunter, got to the last area. Been just like a lot of it is once you hit high rank, it's quite different in the way you progress. It's like, it's no longer do this mission to continue. It's, we're tracking this one monster who appears in every area. So as you play it, you'll just see like footprints for a monster that's just all question marks.
Yeah.
And you pick that up, and it's just over time you're building up that meter. Once you get to full, then you can fight, which is the next monster, right?
Because this is the farthest I've gotten in a Monster Hunter game, so...
Oh, this is actually the first I've gotten in a Monster Hunter game. Okay. So, like, it's... The way it's really kind of pushed together is quite nice, so... But I had a nasty run-in yesterday with, the B-52 bomber.
I don't want you to like...
That's all I'm going to say. It's the B-52 bomber.
That goose photo made me laugh.
So, yes, the bagel goose. Let's just...
I think I've seen like I watched some of Gaijin Hunter's videos, and I see like, not like full on shots of him, but like kind of like in the distance, and I'm like...
Just, yeah.
It's like I'm teasing myself.
So, it's like, all I'm going to say is... Everyone was like, man, this game doesn't have Devil Joe yet. It's not going to be the same. No, this guy is Devil Joe on steroids.
Can you imagine him and Devil Joe in one area?
Oh, yes. So he's like, and it's funny because I've always brought dung bombs with me. Because if I'm ever fighting something and another monster comes in I don't want them to use dung bombs to scare them away. Yeah. And then they leave the area. Well.
This one doesn't leave the area?
No, he does.
Okay.
I ran out of dung bombs.
Oh, God.
Because every time I'd move him to another area, my target would move to the same area. And it was like, this sucks. And all my partners, they weren't even talking, but I could see they were exhausted. This fight took like a half hour because no matter what, we were fighting two dudes at once. So, yeah, no, this game is so good. It's so fun. It's just like, I'm at a point where it'll just be, I'll pop it on and just, play it. And it's not even like super hardcore. It's just kind of zen and relaxing. You get into the zone of dodging and stuff. And I'm enjoying it.
But it's always funner to play with friends.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Really?
I actually really enjoy this game. Is great with randoms. There's like, I've never played a game where you go in with randoms and like, they're all the nicest people. You don't have to talk. Like literally we were fighting this one monster. We got to it and it's sleeping in its cave, and I placed some bombs around it and I'm just waiting nearby because I want everyone to catch up. And the other dude with me there waits with me. And he sits down, he does a prance, and we're just waiting with each other, and, he does shadow boxing and stuff, and we're waiting. And then, of course, once the last guy comes, all of us start charging up on those bombs I placed. We're all in sync. Like, I've never had a community that knows what they're doing like this. Yeah, and it's nice.
Monster community feels really, like, mature. And,
it's so welcoming. Well, because the game was, like, super niche.
Did you see, like, that, they're, like, doing... Someone's doing that, like, hiring or hunters thing, where you could, like, go into it and be like, someone could help you actually, like, learn the game and its ins and outs.
Yeah, no, I this wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
like that's such a Monster Hunter thing. Week. So it's a great community. No, I mean, because you know what it is. It's the fact that the game itself is cooperative by nature. There is no competitive aspect to it.
Yeah.
Like, that fact alone means everyone wants to help each other because you're helping someone who helps you.
Yeah.
So it's great.
What else have you been playing? If anything.
Not actually, that's pretty much it. I did get one game, which I cannot talk about just yet. It will go up on Tuesday, my video about it, but it's pretty cool that I got the opportunity to play it. Then there's... I'm still playing through Fire Emblem Warriors on the Switch, just unlocking stuff just for fun. And, like, because the new pack's coming out on, I think, Valentine's Day. So I'm going to get that and play through that, get those new characters. It's just a good, solid time where, because, of course, it's portable. So say I don't want to play something too taxing and just want to throw something on TV and play. Yeah. That's the perfect game for that. They're so good for that. So
I'm just waiting for Fire Warriors on the Switch.
And you know what? I've actually changed my tune, and I'm definitely getting it. So
it's
going to be good. It's going to be...
But, like, what?
All I'm going to say, though, did you see the thing that says on the DLC included? It says all previously released DLC. Not all DLC.
Don't do this to me, Tanner.
I'm just saying, that's been going around, and it says that.
Ugh.
So, we'll see. Okay, let's move on to the news, shall we?
I've been watching something, though.
Oh, right,
I
watching.
Just wanted to just update.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, because I don't watch anything.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Started season 4 of Black Mirror. First episode, USS Callister. One of my favorite episodes of the series.
Nice.
And
I heard season 4 isn't that good compared to other ones, but that's just what I've heard.
I actually like it because it seems like it's a season that connects everything together.
Okay. I could see some people might not like that, though.
I could see that too, but
because I know a lot of people like their stuff totally separate.
Because in the first episode especially, there's like technologies that you can like obviously see references to that are more advanced in that episode, like the little thing on the side of the head from San Junipero.
Okay,
it's a VR thing. But in USS Callister, it's basically this guy who has a mod of a VR game that he gets DNA. I don't want to spoil it because it's a really, really cool premise. And
okay, then you know what? I think you said enough. Honestly, VR game mod. That's
I was gonna say be scared of AI.
Okay, sounds good.
Second episode, Archangel, overprotective mothers. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Third episode, Crocodile, probably one of the bleakest episodes of the series. It's one of those episodes where the antagonist is the protagonist.
Okay.
And it's like one of the least techie episodes. It doesn't really surround
with a name
around.
like Crocodile, I think so.
Yeah,
because that's an animal.
Yeah, and it's a theme.
Okay.
Yeah. There's technology in that episode, like stuff you don't see today, but like that plays into like the overall story.
Yep.
But it's not it's not centered around it per se.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's
you're rocking through that.
Next episode is Hang the DJ, which is all about dating apps.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting for sure.
So, I hear that's like one of the best ones in the season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's awesome you're enjoying it because I'm not watching anything. I mean, I did finish. Actually, I did watch something. I finished the Danganronpa 3 anime.
Oh, yeah.
And I did.
I saw your little ramble on Twitter.
Did a review about it, and holy crap! This is like I've never seen a show travel genres as much as this. It starts off because the way it works is you literally watch it released basically both seasons at the same time, and you're supposed to watch season 2, episode 1, and then season 1, episode 1, and then season 2, episode 2, and then season 1, episode 2.
Huh.
Because that's the order that it aired on TV.
Okay.
But then when it came out on demand and stuff, then they kind of put it in seasons, which isn't like the right way. Yeah. But if you watch it this way, oh my god, it's so much better, because you'll literally meet a character. Because the way it works is season 2 takes place in the future, at the very end of the series. Season 1 takes place before the series. And things will happen in the future, and then they'll be explained in the past.
That's cool.
It's really cool. So the whole, I'll just explain it to you, because you obviously have no idea, really. But like...
You don't want to spoil it for the people.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm just going to tell the basic premise of like both them. So like in the future arc, it's basically all these kind of government workers who were students at this school where a horrible tragedy happened. They're stuck in a building, and they have these little wristbands on, and they're told every time the timer on it runs out, everyone here, there's a drug in it, you'll fall asleep, and the one person who is labeled the killer will kill someone. If you can somehow manage to make the killer not kill anyone, because everyone but the killer goes asleep. If the killer doesn't manage to kill anyone, then you all win and can leave. But, like, during that time, everyone's asleep except the killer.
So can't everyone just hide?
The killer has to just kill someone during that time.
But, like, what if he can't find anyone?
Well, then we'll see. But then there's another gimmick, though.
Yeah.
Each wristband on the bottom has a message that is your forbidden action. If you do that action, you die. So
why would you want to do that then?
Because some of them involve other people. So, for instance, there's one character's is no running in the halls. So in the halls of the building, he can't run. That's not too bad, I guess, right? And he's very open about that one, because he says, like, I mean, I can't make other people do it, but then you have other people's whose depend on other people. So theirs is, don't let anyone step on your shadow. So, of course, if other people know that...
so these things are just always active and like...
Always active.
Okay.
These forbidden actions are always active, and if it happens, you die.
Oh my god.
So you get administered a lethal amount of the poison and you die. So, of course, everyone, there's some people, like, for example, the one with the shadow, they don't tell anyone about that. Because obviously that'd be a way to kill them.
Yeah.
Because there's one of them in the group is a traitor. So that's kind of a crazy sort of murder mystery game, right? The other season, which takes place before the games and before everything, is about how everything got so freaking hecked up.
Okay.
And is about how this class of students in a school where everyone is the master of a single talent. So everyone is like the ultimate chef, the ultimate artist, the ultimate whatever. How that turned into the event that literally caused basically the end of the world.
Huh.
And I have never seen a show go from, like, so for example, the one in the future goes from pretty much like a intense battle anime to kind of a detective sleuth mystery. Like, it transitions into that slowly.
Oh, okay.
Like, the action kind of tones down, and then it becomes, and there are hints in the show as to the right answers, and when you see them, you're like, oh, you can see it. It's so good. But then the other one, it starts off with just like a slice of life comedy show into one of the most horrific Saw-like shows I've ever seen.
Oh, God.
To a point where I could barely sleep after It's an event that in every game has been hyped up as the most horrible, most terrible incident in history. And after all that hype, it pays off in a way that was chilling.
Oh,
so,
God.
like, it was really good.
Yeah.
And I know some people don't like it because it almost explains a little too much about the games, because it really ties all of them together. But I thought it was so good. It was so good. It's the best sort of adaptation / extension for a game through a show ever. And it was good. I loved it. So, oh my god, I can't wait to play the last game next, because I'm so excited. It's great. That's about it for me.
All right.
Now we can move on to the news.
I feel like this one's going to be a long episode.
Yeah, it might be a bit. We'll see. Some of this news we can go through pretty quickly, though. We won't last too long on it, I feel. Most of it we can get through. So there was a press event done by Nippon Ichi Software America, so specifically the American branch. So a lot of these were games that were announced for Japan, and we didn't hear about them in America. And I actually did watch this live, because, I saw it was on, and I was playing Monster Hunter, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's throw it on. And I've never seen such a hilariously informal, like, no script, whatever. It's like these two dudes in, like, just, like, baseball jerseys, but they have, Prinny on them, which is, like, the little penguin dudes from Disgaea.
Oh, okay.
And so they're there, and they're like, one is like, hey, what's up? Welcome to the NIS America press event. And they're like making jokes and like referencing stuff, and it was so funny. But so they announced a bunch of games, most of them for the Switch, actually. They announced like 7 Switch games, but I only picked the ones here which are kind of interesting. Touhou Wanderer Reloaded, so like the updated sequel to the Touhou Wanderer game, which is like Mystery Dungeon, like, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and stuff. So it's like that, but with Touhou characters. I don't know if you know about how Touhou works.
It's a bullet hell game.
It is, but the characters are open domain.
Oh, right, yeah.
So any company can just like ask the creator, like, hey, can we use it? And like no legal papers have to be signed. He's like, yeah, whatever. And then they can just make games.
Cool.
Which is such a weird and kind of cool thing to do, I think.
Yeah.
They announced Happy Birthdays for the Switch, which I don't know if you remember Birthdays the Beginning on PS4.
I played the demo, actually.
So this is kind of an updated kind of sequel for the Switch. So that's kind of cool that we're getting that, because that game, I looked at it, I'm like, it'd be neat on, a portable system that's not the Vita, because who has a Vita? So I might get it. We'll have to see. It looks just kind of cute and fun.
Yeah.
Then they showed off footage of, this was announced earlier for the Switch, but they showed off real gameplay this time, and oh my god, it looks so cool. It's called The Penny Punching Princess, and it's basically a game where you're a princess who punches zombies, but the gimmick is that she's super huge in debt. Like, ridiculously in debt. So, the way it works, though, is during battle, you can bring up a calculator, and if you put in, like, spend 500, you will spend 500 of your coins, and depending on the number you put in, you get different things.
Okay.
So, for example, if you spend, 666 gold, like, demons will rain out and fight for you. Huh. If you spend, 325, you get a healing spring. So it's like, and like literally mid-combat, you take out a calculator and have to menu it in combat. It looks so cool. It has a really huge comedic charm where it's like, the trailer's like, long ago, relations were forged and everyone lived in harmony, but one day an evil entered the land. Capitalism. And so like it's so on the nose and just looks like a fun sort of beat 'em up, and it uses the term burst combos and break combos, which are like my favorite phrases in Japanese games ever, because whenever you see those, you're in for a good time. Mm-hmm. So and then finally, Witch and 100 Knight 2, which is a sequel to The Witch and the 100 Knight for PS3 and PS4, which just looks like a good old, dungeon crawling game, known for its kind of crazy art style and characters that are, wacky and dubbed in fun ways. Okay. So I'm excited for all these. Nippon Ichi Software. Oh, and they also did show off more of SNK Girl Fight or whatever. SNK Heroines, yeah. Heroines. And they did confirm, the next character is going to be a female grappler who was not in any other game before. So, who's it going to be? We'll have to see. It was a good press event. There wasn't any huge major revelations. Like, the biggest revelation is their, Suda51, right?
Yes.
So he made one of his first games he made was called The Silver Case, which is getting a re-release on PS4 right away.
It already is on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it came out right after the event, so that was right away there. Cool. So the cool thing though was well, not really cool thing, but they made a sequel to it that was only available on Japanese feature phones. Meaning before there was the iPhone, Japan used feature phones, which was phones that were still flip phones but could play pretty big games on them, right?
Okay.
Obviously, we never had those. Japan had those, and those were big, but we never had those. So they're actually porting that to PS4.
That's cool.
So the previously phone only, and when he's like, you could kind of think of it as an HD remaster, but we just did every single thing from the ground up. So it's basically a new game. So that's kind of cool. That was announced. It was a good press event. No huge bombshells, but a lot of just good small games and a lot for the Switch, which is always good. Nippon Ichi Software is a really good game company that a lot of people sleep on.
Including me.
Yeah, well, you only just discovered JRPGs, so...
Well, it wasn't recent.
Nippon Ichi Software is real down the JRPG hole.
I could see
like
that,
Square Enix and Atlas are just like scraping like
Scoops.
just scooping the top of the barrel.
Yeah.
This is like using a laser drill to get to the bottom of the barrel and being like, so all right, you want to take the next one?
Sure. A little bit of Metroid Prime 4 news.
Potentially. This is still...
But it's still Prime news.
I hate the Eurogamer article that says this is confirmed, and you read the article and they're like, it's not confirmed, but we're pretty sure. And it's like, what are you doing?
Bandai Namco might be working on Metroid Prime 4, which is really exciting.
Because they're a really good company.
They made the best Smash Bros. Game. They made... What else did they make?
Tekken.
Soul
Calibur. Like... They're a super solid game company, and I feel like to have
fighting
them...
game wise though.
Well, no, but they do a lot of other stuff.
I'm not a big Bandai Namco person.
Okay, you keep talking, and I'm gonna bring up some other games Namco Bandai did, and I'll show you just how many games they are that are super solid.
Okay, well, what was the Ridge Racer? You have the Ridge Racer here.
Oh, right. So, okay, well, do you not know the context of how we know this?
Ridge Racer?
No. Okay, so
no, I don't.
Basically there was a LinkedIn account of an employee, and on that account they said, yeah, we're working on Metroid Prime 4, as well as Ridge Racer for the Switch, as well as one unannounced game. And Ridge Racer for the Switch is like, Ridge Racer is such a solid racing game, and it's like, it's a lot of just fun. So like that on the Switch, if it's like just even a $20 download game, everyone would be super down for, because it is just a solid racing game. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4, you know what that gets me excited for? I want the return of multiplayer.
Oh,
back
dude.
After Metroid Prime 2, like, come on. That'd be so good. If they're on that.
Oh man. I'm really looking forward to, like, I haven't been this huge.
Oh,
Metroid.
right. They're behind Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and Pac-Man.
Obviously.
And, like, every anime game. Ni no Kuni, Project Cars, the Tales series, Galaga. You know, they're kind of behind pretty much... Wait,
Witcher.
Why are they under The Witcher? Probably in Japan.
Probably.
They might have published it in Japan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, they're super solid for this.
Really good choice.
Yeah, no, and I'm down with them just being a helper for Nintendo for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Fragment off this. Oh, I just lost it.
That's okay.
Never mind.
You'll think about it as we talk about they announced some more Splatoon amiibo.
They did.
For
last night.
the Off the Hook, which is Pearl and Marina.
I keep wanting to say Callie and Marie, but that's...
Nope. This is right after in Japan they had the concert, the hologram concert featuring both the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook there.
Yeah,
and they did a duet and stuff. So that's kind of cool. I'll probably get it just in case it's used for other games. I don't play much Splatoon 2.
Me neither.
Like at all. It's a good game, but like there's just too many other games.
Offset, we don't have it here, but they also revealed a new map.
Yeah, and
court.
new weapons.
Tenta.
The dark Tenta splatties or whatever.
Did you see what they can do?
No.
You could like roll 4 times.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And you can
actually
shoot while you're rolling. Too.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Actually, yeah, I didn't see that. That's cool. I like weapons that actually changed up quite a bit. Then
I wish my Switch Wi-Fi worked so I could play it more. But
oh well.
Do we want to do the rest of the Nintendo stuff?
Yeah, sure. We're on a Nintendo roll, so
you want to do this?
Sure. The next Switch Online update, so not like the actual like update, but like the news update is going to be, and they quote, big news. So
what do you think it'll be?
I think it's Virtual Console.
Me too.
People think it's Smash Bros, and I think they're insane. they're saving Smash Bros for when the online is paid. But and I'm like, probably not.
You think about it, like they have to launch this online with a big online game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I remember people still are complaining about it, but like every time I think of the pricing, like $5 a year or whatever,
10
it's
for
like,
us.
Yeah, but like still, that's like nothing.
No, it's
like,
not.
Come on, you know. So like, take it while it's cheap, you know. So No, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with all the. I really feel like this is gonna be the Switch 2.0 architecture, pretty much.
Oh, probably.
So we're gonna get a big update.
eShop music.
eShop music is not that big of a deal.
Oh, it is.
It's really not.
It is.
That's like okay.
The Wii Shop music is
It's
ingrained.
really good, but it's not a necessary thing.
Dude, I loved when I went onto the Wii U shop and it was like
I'm gonna ask you a very personal question. Are you one of those people who complains about the icons of Switch games?
No.
Okay, good, because I hate that. People are like, yeah, it's good, but it's not like you need it to look like an album cover.
It's like box art. You don't even look at it.
Right? Yeah, it's like I don't care. Like at all.
I like when I don't like when my game cases are destroyed.
Yeah.
And all that.
But we're talking about the digital icon. Like
whatever. The art on it, and it's like it doesn't even matter. You look at it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, people are crazy. Nintendo fans especially. Speaking of another thing, my Nintendo coins are going to be used for Switch games in March. And coming with it is a new exchange rate, so you'll get a lot more coins for when you put in your games. But that means don't register Bayonetta 2 when you buy it, which you all will. Please. That game, especially the first one, which is included with it, is the best game of all time.
I have it pre-ordered. So
yeah, I'm so excited.
It's Friday.
So the interesting thing, though, is someone did the math, and it's like, if you buy a full-price game, you get back enough coins, because not only will you now be able to like use them to exchange for stuff, you'll also be able to basically spend money with them. You'll be able to use them in place of money. So if you buy a full-price game, you will be able to buy a $5 eShop game for free.
That's good trade-off.
And you will still then get points for that one. For that one $5 one, which will then go to like another 100 points or whatever. So like, that's a good exchange rate.
That could be like good for like buying those indie games on this
eShop.
eShop.
For sure. And I think
that's what I'll use them for probably.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea, and will be interesting to see where they go, because I have not used my Nintendo coins pretty much.
I go there
all.
every often.
I go there every now and then to redeem my coins,
and
but
see
like
what shitty rewards there are.
Yeah, they're not good. And the last Nintendo bit of news, Galgun 2 by Inti Creates, upcoming Switch game, is banned in Germany because, well, I feel like this game of all games, it makes sense why it would be banned.
Is it really like not safe for work?
Okay, you literally have a pheromone gun.
Which
causes girls to become excited and stop chasing you. So the only problem though is then Inti Creates went on like a rant on Twitter about like, oh, they're only mad because of the art style. These are all high school girls. They're not even kids.
Still, that's like underage.
No, they're
in high school.
They're 18.
Oh,
they say they're all 18. Like,
then why are they so uppity about it?
Because they look like they're 12.
Oh, fair enough.
Like, so that game is definitely like out of all the games, I can see it. It's really like, it is very not safe for work. And yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Now here's the thing though. The Switch, it's super region free.
Yeah.
So like, it's not that big of a deal. You just won't be able to get it like at a store. Just get it from either the online shop or, you know, the way Germany works, you can drive 2 hours out of the country and buy it from another country. Cause like there's, you know, the borders in like Germany are like open, right? You can just drive to another country and they don't even check your passport.
Really?
Yeah. When we went to Germany, it was like going into Germany is like going into our Saskatchewan. There is a sign that says, welcome to this place. And that's it. So like they can just go.
Huh.
You know, take a train. They have public transport. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's not that big of a deal. What is a big deal though?
Last video game update.
Monster Hunter got a big update. And this was actually after a lot of players were complaining, especially in Japan. They have balanced the bowguns in a really good way. So originally, the slicing ammo was way too powerful. The one that causes you shoot it at the monster, it leaves like a little thing on them, and then you see and it starts doing slashes, right? That was really powerful to a point where no other ammo was even worth using. Mm-hmm. But it did cause, if a player was nearby who was a melee user, they would get they would stumble by it. because it did do like kind of not damage friendly fire, but it would do like it would cause you to trip.
Yeah.
So not only they have nerfed the slicing ammo and made it so they nerfed the tripping ability, they have instead powered up every single ammo other than slicing. Now, when I first heard this, I'm like, I don't think it's going to be that major, that noticeable. Oh my god, as a bowgun user, it super is. Like, I went from doing 6 as my most damage with each shot to doing 12 and 18 with my most damage for each shot. So they really amped it up to be like, if you're in the critical distance, which is like, if you're in this distance, you do the most damage to the monster, you do a lot of damage with it. So like, yeah, and even like the slicing ammo, it's still good for slicing off tails or breaking parts, but like, it's just not good for damage, but it's still good for slicing things off. So like, this is a really good update because people were complaining that the bowguns up to high rank don't feel as powerful, and they feel like you're not doing any damage really. So this is really good.
Okay.
The other update is if you're now using the Gathering Hub to do quests, when you beat the quest, you stay in the Gathering Hub.
Oh, that's so nice.
You don't go back down to the main floor. You stay in the hub.
That's nice.
So like that's a really good update. So that the multiplayer will then feel like the multiplayer on 3DS pretty much if you're doing Hunting Hub with friends and stuff. So that's really dope. I'm happy about that. What people aren't happy about is
actually before we go into that.
Okay.
I put it on the Discord. I had
such a good segue.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
I was thinking about this through the whole news segment, but
okay.
There's a rumor that it's one of those like listings type rumor.
Yeah.
The Metal Gear Solid trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Is coming to current gen consoles.
I can see that.
That's hype.
Is it?
It is, because I want to replay those games, but I do not want to plug my PS3 back in.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I have mine right here, always ready to go, so it's like, I don't know. I probably won't buy them again.
I will.
Like, unless it's like a 1 to 4 pack, but I don't think... I think it's just going to be the 2-3 Peace Walker HD collection.
I think that's what the photo on it was.
Yeah,
too,
so we'll have to see. I don't know.
A 4 remaster would be cool.
Yeah.
But, Konami.
Yeah, that's I think the big thing where I look at that, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to give Konami my Metal Gear money anymore. I think I'm going to support them on the stuff they do well, like Castlevania, like Bomberman, but no, I don't really want to give them the money for Metal Gear.
A port.
I know, but I don't know.
Give them money for good Metal Gear games, and don't give them money for bad Metal Gear games, a la Survive.
You did hear who's making the monsters for Survive, right?
No.
The Silent Hills guy. Like the guy who was gonna be on Silent Hills making the monsters. Not like the famous ones like Guillermo del Toro, but like the internal guy is now making the enemy designs for Metal Gear Survive.
I watched a speedrun of PT.
Oh, yeah?
And it's just a damn shame, dude.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It is.
It's a damn shame, because that game is so... It's like top-of-the-line horror.
Well, at least we get to see Kojima unrestrained and unchained with Death Stranding, because...
That's always a good thought to think.
That's like, this game is going to be the most insane game, because Konami always held Kojima back. We might see a boss fight that takes 1 week real time.
I don't even care.
We might see, like, if you lose in the game, your disc gets destroyed. All of his things might come true.
And I don't even care because I love Kojima.
So, that's going to be interesting.
Alright, now that's it for video game news.
And now segueing into something people don't like too much.
Including me.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so... I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, obviously. You know this.
Big Spidey. Big Spidey fan.
Spidey. Venom, being one of my favorite supervillains ever. When I heard of Venom's getting his own movie, I'm like, they're going to screw it up.
Yeah, I know. I think that was me too. I was like, I'm usually pretty optimistic, but when it said Sony's making a Venom movie, I'm like, that's not going to go over well at all.
See, with the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I like them because they were more comic accurate. They were more accurate to the 90s cartoon which I grew up with.
Yeah.
Since, like, the Lizard being the first villain Spider-Man faces, and, like, Flash Thompson.
Yep.
It's actually like Flash Thompson and all that, and whatever. I don't want to talk about them anymore. With the Venom trailer, they have the trailer, but they don't have Venom in it.
Good move. That's
like,
great.
If you don't have,
Perfect.
If you don't have the CGI finished, if you don't have something to show, why put a trailer out?
I honestly think that it's because they want it to be some big reveal in the movie that, this is the Venom.
We know what Venom looks like.
Oh, no. You're not John Hollywood. You're John Comic Book. You know how he looks, but some...
If they screw up his look, I'm done. I'm done with Sony. Did you hear about Sony?
Well, I mean, except for the games, right?
I mean, I'm done with
Sony
movies. Sony.
Yeah, no. What was that?
What did I say?
You said you know about Sony?
That they want to, like, there's rumors that they want to be sold.
The movie division, right?
Yeah,
for sure. Because the movie division was never a good thing. Like, it never did well. So,
aside from the Venom, going off topic, but kind of. Did you hear that the Black Panther director wanted Kraven the Hunter?
No, I heard you talking about that. Yeah,
that would have been so cool.
That would have been cool, but at the same time, I definitely could see, because
Kraven isn't exclusively a Spider-Man villain, though.
I know, but I feel like it might have just been that, like, they have that in the cards for Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Maybe. Because I want Kraven's... I want his Kraven's Big Hunt adapted into a movie.
Kraven is... He's definitely, like, a lesser villain in the scope of things, but that would be perfect for the tone of Homecoming 2, you know? Like, much like...
Or even 3.
Yeah, so, yeah, I could see them pulling back on that, and... Because there are Black Panther villains, so I think you should have definitely started with Black Panther villains before going into other stuff.
They already have, like, 3 villains in there.
I don't know anything about Black Panther, and I will gladly go
something.
I'm going to go in very happily pretty blind in the next couple days, so...
Killmonger.
Don't tell me!
Well, you know Killmonger's in the movie.
I don't know who that is.
The main bad guy.
I don't know who that is. I haven't been watching anything. I have been watching anything. I don't hype for movies because I want to go in blind.
It's not even like you know who Killmonger is anyway.
I don't actually.
Yeah. So like,
it's fine.
Okay.
That's it. Just his name. That's it.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, Venom trailer sucks. Can't wait till they shit out the movie and move on.
Yep.
On the better trailer side of things...
Oh, yeah, this was good.
Deadpool 2.
Now, I did hear some people complain that Cable is not big enough, but here's the thing. Cable was drawn by Rob Liefeld. No human on Earth can look like the mass of meat that is the basis of every Rob Liefeld drawing. Like... You've seen the Captain America picture where his chest comes out like a meter. Like, he's not going to look like... I think he looks great.
Oh, yeah, he looks awesome.
I think he looks
I don't know
great.
Much about Cable, but...
Do you know who he is in the comics?
He's like a time traveler.
Do you know who he is the son of?
No.
Do you want me to tell you?
I think I already know it, but I just need a reminder.
I'm just going to do something.
Oh, really?
I took off my glasses and made a laser sound, so...
That's cool.
So, yeah, that's why he has one eye that glows sometimes.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, and he has a metal arm. And under that, do you know what's under the metal arm?
What?
A big bug arm. I don't know why.
Huh.
I don't know why. I just know if you play Marvel 2, because Cable was the main character of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Because he being in was the big new addition.
Okay.
If you play as him, one of his win poses is his arm rips off and a giant bug arm comes out. And I'm like, why? And I never understood that. But, yeah, it looks good.
But past Cable, I really like the reference to, like, the... It's not like you're, like, putting a mustache in. And I'm like, I can't wait for those references in the movie. Did you catch the Thanos references?
No. Yeah, was there?
Yeah. I think... When they had to go finish the CGI for Cable's arm, he's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." That's what Thanos says in Avengers 2.
Okay.
And then when he's playing with the toys, he's like, "I'll give you some stones to."
Oh yeah,
collect.
I got that one.
Yeah.
I got that one. So,
yeah. What do you think about Domino?
She's a pretty minor Marvel character. And I actually really like what they did with the design.
Yeah, me too.
Because being, like, in the comics, it's a totally white person with a black diamond on the face.
It's reversed.
And in this one, it's reversed. Dark skin with the white diamond. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. She's not a huge comic character, so...
I think I read last night that like supersonic teenage.
Yeah.
The girl, she's like super powerful. She
yeah.
Can, like, summon things out of thin air.
Oh yeah, she's incredibly powerful, and they just picked her because her name is hilarious. So yeah, no, I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Oh yeah,
and I hope it continues to be the one good final bastion that Fox has.
Yeah,
because
it like Deadpool 1 is a fantastic movie.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Though I do want them to kind of reel back a bit on the kind of try-hardy humor, if that makes sense.
You have an example?
Like, the talk about the masturbation with the tiny baby hand. Like, I feel like there's...
But that's like classic Deadpool humor, though.
But Deadpool never got to the level of rude that is some of the stuff in the movie.
I guess.
Yeah, like it really feels like they tried to play up a little bit too much the adult side, but I mean, like, it's still a funny movie.
Yeah.
But I want to maybe pull that back a bit and get some more, just, not humor that's uncomfortable to watch in the movie theater with your father with.
Oh yeah,
because
I never watched that movie with my parents.
I did.
Oh God.
I went to the theater and watched it with my dad.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that was
yikes.
He liked it though, so it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good trailer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I want to like talk about. We should do that for another main topic.
Yes.
Just talk about Marvel.
Well, we're going through our movies, so
yeah.
We could actually, if we're finishing Avengers today, we could do a big talk about Phase 1 next week.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, break time.
And when we come back,
our main topic, which is actually a continuation of the news, and will be really interesting. I'm sure the title references it because, oh boy. So, we'll see you next time, guys, after the break. I almost thought I was saying bye. Yeah, after the break. See you in a sec.
Bye.
And we're back from that break. You're drinking a water because you need to prepare for what we're going to be talking about next.
You should be drinking the water. You're going to be talking. Don't
worry. I'm used to talking. So, the final news piece, which will go into our discussion for this week, and by discussion I mean
colossal
lecture. So there was it was the D23 Expo in Japan. So it's like Japan's Disney Expo. And of course for that, what else are you going to do but drop some Kingdom Hearts news? Mm-hmm. So we got the first and small thing. It's like, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts characters are coming to Record Keeper, which is like a mobile Final Fantasy game. So that's kind of cool. We're getting some crossovers there. Hopefully that means we'll get like, Sora in other Final Fantasy stuff, because before that was off limits, but now it's obviously not. So that's cool. But the big news was a bunch of stuff for Kingdom Hearts 3. So number one, they say we're sticking to 2018, which is like, oh my god, big if true. The other thing is they did formally announce the Monsters Inc. world, which when I first was, imagining, I'm like, that's not too hype. But when they showed the gameplay of, you've seen Monsters Inc., right?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Oh, you saw the trailer?
I didn't see all of it. I just saw, like, bits and pieces.
I'm sure, because everyone was posting about it. But you know in Monsters Inc. where there's, like, the door room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to play in that. And it's as big as it is in the movie.
Huh.
So, like, I'm really excited for that now. There was some big news about the number one. The singer of the theme song for the first game and second game never made a theme song for any of the other games because it was all spin-offs and stuff. And when asked originally, are you going to make a song for the new game? She was actually she was like, yeah, I'm retired. So like everyone was like, oh, it's not happening. Boom. She made a new song and it's in this trailer. And it's really good. It's not the same as the other ones. It's a bit more somber, but of course, like they all start somber and then get electronic remixes. So we'll have to see how that goes, but like, oh my god, everything about this looks so good and reminds me why life is worth living. Like, this game is 15 years. 15 years we've waited for the third game, and it's like, it's finally here and it looks so good. Okay, but after this news, obviously everyone's talking about Kingdom Hearts, and I really feel like, for people who have no idea what this series is about at all, this must be the weirdest thing to see people discussing.
Yeah.
So I've decided I am going to describe the plot of Kingdom Hearts to you. How's that sound?
Let me get a blanket.
He's actually getting a blanket because I live in a cold Canadian basement, which is absolutely freezing. Shoutouts to Canadian winters. They are absolutely the worst thing ever. So, all right. Where do we begin? Well, let's start with, we're going to go game order and not chronological order. Because if you go chronological order, we start with the mobile game, which I know nothing about. So, game order.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
So, it starts off on an island.
Okay.
There's a little boy named Sora. And he's playing with his friends, Riku and Kairi, and it's all good times. All of a sudden, a man in a black cloak, or it's more of a green cloak. It's not the black cloak you see around in cosplay and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, lol, I'm gonna blow up the island. And Sora's like, yo, what? And then all of a sudden, Riku, the guy who is like your friend, is like, JK, I'm falling into darkness. And the island starts to like be engulfed by a black hole.
What?
And these shadow creatures start popping up. And Sora's like, I'm gonna beat up the shadow creatures. Just kidding, you can't. You need a Keyblade to beat them. And he gets the Keyblade, but it's still not enough. And he gets sucked up into a black hole.
How do you get a Keyblade? How do you get it?
Okay.
He just gets it? Isn't it the most, like, weapon in the game?
So, let's pull back just a little bit. The game starts off with a dream sequence, where you're on stained glass of various Disney princesses. And you're just, like, it's playing very cryptic, like, it's all cryptic stuff and saying, like, to achieve friendship, you need power of the heart, power to protect your friends. And so you start bashing things with a shield or a sword or a rod, and then all of a sudden it turns into the Keyblade in your dream. But in real life, he doesn't get the Keyblade at first until it just appears in his hand. It just appears.
Like, no.
It just appears.
It does get explained later, though, right?
Yeah. In, like, the 7th game.
7?
Yeah, man. So,
oh my God.
He gets the Keyblade, and it's like... But here's the thing. So he gets the Keyblade, but he gets sucked up by the black hole. And he gets sent to a place called Traverse Town, which is the world where whenever somebody's world is destroyed, they get sent to Traverse Town. It's a town literally for people traversing through the universe.
Okay.
So, in Traverse Town, you have half the cast of Final Fantasy VII. You have a bunch of characters from Final Fantasy VIII. Oh, and by the way, on the island Sora grows up, there's the main character of Final Fantasy X there as a child.
Why?
Because he's there and he's his friend.
But...
Shh! It's Kingdom Hearts. And then he goes, so he's in Traverse Town, his new town, and he gets awoken by being licked in the face by Pluto.
Oh, Pluto.
Pluto, you know Pluto.
Yeah,
it's Pluto. And so he's there, and Sora then is walking through this dark alley, and he sees a man get murdered in front of him. By a Heartless, causing his heart to fly out of his body. Because when you're killed by a Heartless, your heart leaves your body.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. When I say the word heart,
like, is it like...
I'm not talking about the physical heart.
It's the soul?
Really, it's more of a soul.
Okay.
But soul is different, but it's basically like your soul, pretty much. So, your soul leaves your body, and yeah, Sora sees this guy get killed, and it's pretty brutal. He then runs into Donald and Goofy, who are there looking for their king, who is, I'm sure you can guess... Haha!
Mickey.
Mickey, there you go. So they're looking for King Mickey, because King Mickey went missing. So
why are the Disney characters here?
Okay. Basically, the way it works is, in Kingdom Hearts, every Disney movie, as well as every, I'm pretty sure, Square Enix video game, we haven't crossed over with many, but they're all separate worlds, they're called, but they're pretty much separate universes.
Okay.
And you could travel between them with a ship, like in space.
Okay.
So it's all like the Disney characters are there because in this universe, their movies exist in their own worlds.
Okay.
So Sora meets Donald and Goofy, and they're all getting along, and then you fight a boss, and then all of a sudden Sora runs into his friend Riku, who is from the island. Who, remember, he was the one who kind of he didn't decide to blow up the island, but he just went along with it. So then Sora's like, hey, Riku, what's up? We need to find Kairi. And Riku's like, you're with your new friends, I guess, looking at Donald and Goofy. And Sora's like, no, I don't know these guys. And he's like, I hate you, Sora. I'm going to go fall more into darkness. And so then he leaves. And Sora's like, dang, Riku, why you got to be like that? And so Sora, Donald, and Goofy then leave together. And they actually go through a bunch of Disney worlds. Now, I'm not going to go through the plot of the Disney World, because each Disney World, you basically play out the plot of the movie, but with Sora, Donald, and Goofy there.
Okay.
So you go through Alice in Wonderland, Aladdin, Hercules, Nightmare Before Christmas, Pinocchio. You go through all of them, right? So that, thankfully, we can all skip over. The weird thing is, a lot of it is like, it feels very separate from the main plot, because you're going through those movies' plots.
Okay.
And then at the end, it'll be like, for example, in the finale of Tarzan, like, there's no real big villain of Tarzan except for the hunter guy, Clayton, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, the one change they make is, but Clayton's not just there, he also has a Heartless with him, so you fight them both, right?
Okay.
So you're fighting them and whatever. And then you end up going to this place that is like an original world. It's not Disney. It's called Hollow Bastion. It's a place where it's implied to be the world where a lot of the Final Fantasy characters come from. Because they're not the same characters. They're like based on the Final Fantasy characters. They're not the same. For some of them. Some of them are the same. For example, there's specifically a character in Kingdom Hearts 2, who is the canonical same character as the one from Final Fantasy X. Like, as in, not only does it line up with the plot, he has his memories of that game, and, like, it all lines up. So, canonically, he is the same character. But, for example, you then have the main character of Final Fantasy X, who is a young kid, Sora's age, on the island. Not the same character as the actual one from 10.
What?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts! Shh. So, you go to Hollow Bastion, and there you see Riku, who's now wearing like this black gimp suit. And he's being manipulated by Maleficent, the villain of, like Sleeping Beauty, right? Yeah. And you fight her as a dragon, and it's a big, cool fight. But so you are essentially, you go up and he's like, I'm not Riku anymore. I'm now the bad guy.
Does he actually say that?
No, he says Ansem. But
Ansem?
Ansem. Yeah, that's the real bad guy. So literally he's being possessed by this villain, right?
Yeah.
And all this time you've been told, oh yeah, Ansem is this guy who just studied the Heartless. He's cool. He's really not. And you learn quickly he's not. So he gets possessed and you fight him, and then Sora saves Kairi, and Kairi's there. And it's like, yo, we're reunited. And then Kairi's heart gets stolen. So then she is like all comatose and stuff. And so Sora is like, okay, I'm going to kill myself. And then he stabs himself with the Keyblade of Darkness, which is what Riku had. And Sora stabs himself. He gives his heart to Kairi.
Oh, okay.
And so then Sora gets turned into a Heartless. And you actually get to play the section where you play as a generic Shadow Grunt running around until you get to, Donald and Goofy who are fighting other Heartless. And then Donald hits you. And he's like, yo, wait, that feels like Sora. I'm sorry. That feels like Sora. So he says that, right? And then
how do you feel?
What?
How do you feel that he's Sora?
I don't know. And then Goofy's like, gosh, if it is Sora, we should, find a way to turn him back. And then Kairi's like, I hug you. And then he turns back. And I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't get that. I don't get that. That's never been explained.
He just hugs him and
he just hugs him and he turns back. But now by this point,
power of
friendship. Well, it is revealed that Kairi is actually one of the 7 princesses of heart. So like, for example, there's like, like all the Disney princesses, there's like 6 of them in this game. And so then it's like, who's the 7th? Oh, it's Kairi. She's secretly a princess.
Oh, okay.
So maybe she has princess powers. I don't know. But then at this point, Riku is all like, he's no longer Riku. He's now Ansem. He's basically this big guy voiced by Richard Epcar, which is like the new voice of Akuma. And he's like, I am now, the master of darkness and all this stuff. And Sora's like, no! So they has to go stop him from opening up Kingdom Hearts. Oh, so here's the thing.
Roll credits.
No. There's still more. Kingdom Hearts is essentially the Triforce. It is the soul of all worlds.
Okay.
And can grant wishes and stuff. It's best to think of it as this untangible, like, heavenly power or whatever. So, you have to go and you have to stop him from opening up Kingdom Hearts. So, you go there, and here's where things get stupid.
Which haven't got stupid yet?
Oh, no, sir. So, you get there. And you actually get to go through, like, his labs and stuff, and you get to read stuff. And if you read, like, these pages and pages long stuff, you get to the cutscene where he's like, I'm gonna open the door to Kingdom Hearts. And he goes, Kingdom Hearts, fill me with the powers of darkness. And then Sora's like, that's not right, because Kingdom Hearts is light. And then the door opens and light pours. I don't know why it's light. And the light pours out. And he's like, no! And then he gets turned into a giant dick warship where he's on this warship, but it's like made out of flesh and it's like a huge long ship coming out of him and it looks like a massive penis. And so you're flying around fighting him and you're doing cool stuff. And then you get to the end and you close Kingdom Hearts, but oh no, the door, you have to close it on both sides because that's how doors work, I guess. You can't just push on one side, you have to pull on the other at the same time. And then Riku, no longer controlled by Ansem, is like, I'll close the door on the other side. And Sora's like, no, Riku, you'll be lost in the realm of darkness on the other side. And then he's like, don't worry, I've got a friend. Who's on the other side? Mickey. And
why is he on that side?
Because he was going through the world of darkness, I guess. And so you see him and he's just in like silhouette form. And he's like, huh? Don't worry, Sora, I'll close the door to darkness. And it's absolutely wonderful. And so then you close the door to darkness. But by doing so, all the stuff that he's done so far gets like undone. So Sora gets kind of lost into like this grassy plain in an unknown world. Kairi gets pulled back to the island they were at the beginning. And of course, Riku and Mickey are on the other side. Sora and Donald and Goofy kind of never leave each other. Cut the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. So they're trapped on some like mysterious place they don't know, and then it's like, then if you get the after credits scene, you get to see Pluto's there, and he's holding a letter in his mouth from King Mickey that says, "Hey, here's how to come find me." And you get another after credits in the Japanese-only updated re-release, which then we got here, where you see Riku's there in a dark city, but he has a band over his eye and is wearing a black cloak. Now, this is the one that you've seen, obviously, the black cloaks and stuff, right? So he's there, and then there's this mysterious blonde kid in a black cloak who takes out 2 keyblades. And you're like, what? And they run at each other, and it says, see you in Kingdom Hearts 2. And you're like, what? What? And that was like the hypest thing ever, and nobody knew what it meant. That's the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay. Next game is the Game Boy Advance game, Chain of Memories. So, starts off, Sora's in that field, right?
Yeah.
And this is actually the most amazing thing ever. Somehow, Square Enix used blood magic to get PS2 cutscenes to run on the GBA. It's pretty insane. So, you see these cutscenes, and like literally, Sora's walking on that field where he was, and he sees this castle, and he's like, okay, I guess we'll go into this castle, whatever. So he goes into this castle, which looks like a super evil, horrible castle, but whatever. He goes in there, and he's like, I forget everything.
What?
Everyone's like, he's like, he sees a bad guy, and he's like, I'm going to use this end game spell from the first game. And he's like, Ragnarok! Doesn't work. So Donald's like, fire! And he casts fire magic, right? And it doesn't work. And they've forgotten everything from the first game.
Why?
So here's the thing. This castle is called Castle Oblivion.
Oh.
As you progress through Castle Oblivion, you forget stuff. So,
but seemed like he already forgot everything.
Well, they forgot their combat skills.
Oh, okay.
But we're talking about all memories as time goes on.
What's this game called?
This is called Chain of Memories.
Okay, yeah.
Which if it makes sense because it's talking about memory. So as it goes on, because they don't turn back, because they're like the guy who they see a guy in a black cloak, and he's like, hey, you want to save Mickey and Riku? Maybe they're here. So then Sora's like, I have to take this chance and go save him. So they walk through, and you basically like walk through kind of, because it is a GBA game, so you're doing like GBA retellings of the movies now.
Yeah. So
you run through it, and it's pretty much the same thing as before. Every couple floors, though, you do fight this new dude in a black robe. And they're like, they take it off, and it's like, I'm so-and-so, and you fight them. And, you get next floor, and there's another guy in a black robe. So I'm so-and-so, and you fight them. And they're pretty inconsequential at first. But you're like, who is this organization of black-robed people? We don't know. Of note is one of them named Axel, voiced by Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2, who's like, he's kind of there, but he seems different. It's almost like he's a traitor among them. He actually causes one of the people to burn alive. He just sets them on fire, and they burn and scream horribly.
Why? And
he's like, lol. Because he's actually not working for the head of the people there. So, but as you're progressing, Source tries to remember about his adventures in the first game. And at first he's like, yeah, it was me, Riku, and and he's like, I remember what she looks like, but what's her name? That girl who was the entire point of my adventure in the first game. What's her name? And as you keep going, he's like, Nomine. That's her name. And for some reason, all his memories now are of a blonde girl. And he's like, yeah, my blonde friend. We used to hang out. Nomine, she's my good blonde friend girl. Kairi has pink hair. Yeah, so she's like, yeah, this is how it is. Turns out, as he's going through the castle, there's a witch named Nomine, who's a blonde girl, being used by the organization to rewrite his memories so that she was his friend. Because they want to get Sora to join the organization. Oh. Okay. So as he's going on, and then he gets up to the end, and of course things go wrong. The head of the castle is killed, and Nomine's like, look, I was doing this because they were forcing me to. They were going to kill me otherwise. So I can get your memories back, but there's a slight problem. It's going to take about 3 years. So go into the sleeping pod, and we'll get your memories back. So just work on that for now. So Sora's like, okay, see you guys in 3 years. And so he opts into
I love how easy he trusts her.
Okay, so there is a lot of like with him being like, it's okay because we're friends. I trust you, nominate okay. That's what it's like. I'm really paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But there is along the way one world that he goes to that he's never seen before, and we've never seen before either. It's a new world. Okay. It's called Twilight Town. It's not a Disney movie related town, but it's like a town that's always in like a perpetual state of twilight. Like it's orange skies and like it looks like the time twilight always, right? Yeah. So you go there and Sora's like, no, I'm definitely sure I've never been here. And we're even like, we know we're not here. But then you have one of the organization guys be like, well, you haven't, but the other you might have.
What?
And so we're like, huh? And this will be explained later. So, Sora goes to sleep. Meanwhile, after you beat the game, you unlock another campaign to play as Riku and Mickey.
Okay.
Who, after somehow getting out of the door to darkness, they wind up in this place. And you're going through, and, it's all about Riku kind of coming to terms with the fact that he kind of turned into a giant evil supervillain using the power of darkness. And so, at one point, this guy in, red robes, voiced by Christopher Lee, as in the Christopher Lee. Dude, Kingdom Hearts gets big names for it.
Wow.
Comes out and he's like, are you going to walk the path of light or the path of darkness, Riku? And Riku's like, I'm going to walk right down the middle. Which is actually a really badass line, because it's really good. So it's all about him coming to terms with being in darkness. But as he's walking through, he sees a clone of himself running around. And he's like, that's not right. And then you meet this Riku there, and he's like, yeah, I'm actually a replica who's basically trying to be you, but fully darkness. So I'm going to have to kill the original. So Riku and his replica fight. But here's the thing. He gets away. And you don't hear about him for any other game. But there's hints in the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that he's going to appear. So you get to the end. You actually fight another dude who's controlling the castle's memories and stuff. And then Riku leaves. And what he decides to do is he decides to, look, I'm going to train so I don't give into the darkness. I'm going to cover my eyes. Remember that was, we could talk about it. I'm going to cover my eyes, and I'm going to, wear this black coat, which suppresses darkness, and I'm going to go kind of train on my own to be good. So, that's all good. That wraps up. Chain of Memories is done.
Okay.
So, come Kingdom Hearts, now we're on Kingdom Hearts 2, PS2 game. So, we're there, and it starts off, and you're like, all right, time to play as Sora. Just kidding. You're playing as this one random kid named Roxas, who looks kind of like Sora. He has totally different hair. He's voiced by Jesse McCartney, like the old singer. Yeah, they have weird voice actors. Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1 is voiced by Lance Bass, one of the players on NSYNC. So they get weird choices. So you're there and you're playing through as this one random kid who also gets a Keyblade at one point. And you're like, why does he have Sora's Keyblade? And why is he, going around? And
it's Force stuff?
What do you mean?
Certain people have the Force. Certain people have Keyblades.
Okay, it's kind of. Well, a little bit. I will get to that. It will be explained.
Okay.
So, you play around with him. And there is one weird part where you're talking and you have your own group of friends. There's more Final Fantasy characters there. Vivi, Beat's favorite character, he's just in the town. He's just chilling around. Nobody cares if the black mage is running around. It's fine. There's characters from Final Fantasy VI, which is pretty crazy because that's a sprite game. Have that guy in there. So it's it's cool you're doing stuff. But at one point, he's hanging out with all his friends and one of them goes, hey, my is stolen. And then he's like, what your what? It's my... And you look at the subtitles, and it's blank there.
Huh.
And he's like, I can't even say they stole my... And everyone thinks it's dick or something. But because you're playing this for the first time, you're like, what the hell's going on? And so they're like, we can't let them steal our... And it's you're like, what the hell's going on? And Roxas is like, guys, this is no one... Someone talking about it's weird that we can't say this word. It's no, it's okay. We got to worry about getting back. And so... Rox is things are a bit weird here. And so you go around And you have to solve, and then at one point you go to another part of town, and they're like, we need to solve the 7 mysteries of our town. Like the 7 urban myths of whatever. So it's like, one of them's like, if you count the stairs going up, there's 7 stairs, but on the way down, it's 13 stairs. How can that be? And
What the hell?
It turns out that, like, the guy counting is just actually super stupid. It's like, that's, so, like, but then some of the other ones you go to, and, like, they say if you look at this waterfall for 20 seconds, it comes out and fights you. And you stare at
say that again?
There's a waterfall that if you stare at it for 20 seconds, the reflection comes out and fights you.
I thought you said the waterfall
Oh,
fights
no,
you.
that'd be cool. But, like, you go to this waterfall, and, like, another one of you comes out and fights you. And you initially brush it off, and you're like, that's just a little weird. And, like, all these mysteries are, like, weird things that shouldn't be happening. And it almost looks digital. So you get to... So after you and this prologue lasts about 6 hours. And it is actually the most painful thing on replaying Kingdom Hearts 2. Because it is like... like the tanker sequence at the start of Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yes.
Yeah, imagine that for 6 hours.
Oh my god.
Right? So you're playing this whole thing, and finally you get to the end... where, everything's going wrong, and Rox is just like, this place is weird, everything's wrong, why is there digital stuff everywhere? And one of the organization guys appears, and is like, hey, buddy, you remember me? And Rox is like, no, what's happening? And he gets super mad, because everything is kind of collapsing around him. So he runs into this one haunted mansion, based off of the Disney ride and Eddie Murphy movie, The Haunted Mansion. He bursts in there, and he's ripping the place apart, and he gets to the secret basement, and there he finds Sora resting. And he says the line which everyone posts right at the end of summer vacation, which is, I guess my summer vacation is over. Because it's revealed he's in a digital world. So this character is Roxas, and he is Sora's nobody. Let me explain what nobodies are. So when you lose your heart by a Heartless, your heart gets turned into a Heartless. Your body is left there. Now, if you are strong-willed enough, your body turns into a nobody. So when Sora got turned into a Heartless, Roxas was born and became his nobody. Now, isn't it... Now, I don't want you to question how confusing it is that the heart becomes a Heartless and the body becomes a nobody. Don't question that. I know it should be the other way around. The one without a heart should be the nobody. No, it doesn't matter. So basically, throughout the entire time Sora was playing, like going through Kingdom Hearts 1, he was kind of making nobodies. Meaning, this game, you kind of made the villains that he did. Because if you kill him with the Keyblade, then they become nobodies. Including the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1. By killing him with the Keyblade, his nobody was now able to be born into the world. And now you fight the nobody.
That's all about the second game?
Yes. Yes, it is. So now you fight Organization 13. Which is, even though it's called Organization 13 and there was 13 members, you kind of killed half of them in Chain of Memories. So you fight a bunch of them and you do stuff like, go to the Pirates of the Caribbean world. You go to a world based off of old black and white Disney cartoons. And you do all that stuff. And you go through it one time doing the story and then another time where the organization member comes in and is like, I'm going to destroy this world. And you're like, not if you have anything to say about it. So you go through all that. Riku's back and he's good and he helps him.
So he's good now?
He's good now. He's learned to control the darkness.
So he was in that town, right? Before?
No. He left the castle. The castle where you lose your memories. Because remember...
Yeah, but like you said he was in town and then he fought a kid with 2 Keyblades.
No, okay. So that takes place in the DS game. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So basically, it's pretty straightforward. Sora goes and fights all the nobodies, and so in the big final confrontation, because again, it's mostly just recapping Disney movies. Yes.
Do the nobodies become no nobodies, or like another version? Or did they go after that?
We'll get to that. It's answered in a way that might make you very mad. Okay. So you get to the end, and like number one, Kairi gets stolen again, and it's like, dang. So you're in this final world, and it has a great name. It's called The World That Never Was. Which is a dope name. I love it. And that's like the headquarters for the organization. And it's actually the same dark street where that fight happens. Where the one we're talking about with the kid, the blonde kid with the two... Oh, and the blonde kid with the two keyblades was Roxas.
Oh.
Yeah, but we didn't know because he was totally hooded and stuff and we couldn't tell. So, you know, Sora's going through there, and then at one point Kairi gets let out by the same traitor as the one in the castle. And so he's going through there, and then Riku sees Kairi, and it's like, Kairi, you need to defend yourself. Quick, use a Keyblade. And she's like, what? And boom, she uses a Keyblade. And Riku's like, yeah, I could use a Keyblade too. I don't get it. It just happens. It does get explained, but as of this point, it just seems like it just happens sometimes. Oh, it is... Okay, but at one point, it is revealed in Kingdom Hearts 1 that the Keyblade was originally going to go to Riku, but because Riku was kind of evil, it just got transferred over to Sora.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like they can both use it, though. That's kind of weird. But at one point, in Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora gets the ability to dual-wield Keyblades. And at first, people are like, why? How can you use two Keyblades? And he's like... I don't know, but it almost feels like there's another me who could use a Keyblade that exists and I can just borrow it from them.
Huh.
So literally, Roxas has a Keyblade and Sora can just use two Keyblades because he can also use Roxas's. Huh. So then, if you level that up, you get to use three Keyblades. And he's like, what? It's weird. I don't know.
How do you use three Keyblades?
Okay, so in one form, he uses two in each hand, and one kind of flies behind his back, spinning, and as he does strikes, it kind of like flies out and extends. In another form, he uses one in a hand, and two wings behind his back, which go out and like flip around. It's awesome. And one, they just all fly around him, and it's super cool.
Okay.
But so yeah, Sora can use three Keyblades, and he's like, it's weird. It almost feels like I have another person inside of me that can use a Keyblade. It's a bit weird.
A third person?
Oh, just you wait. There's a meme in the Kingdom Hearts community that Sora is everyone, and that is very true. So you get to the end, and you know, you're doing all that stuff. You beat up their organization members. The world destruction is no longer happening. They were going to make another Kingdom Hearts, and you get to the end, and Sora's like, well, that's all good and all, but like, I wonder what happened to the fact that we killed both the bad guys now. Well, time to train for a bit. So then Sora goes to train with the Yen Sid, have you ever seen Disney's The Sorcerer's Apprentice? You know where Mickey wears like the blue hat and the red robe, and he's like the brooms carrying the buckets, and he has like, there's like the big wizard guy. He's kind of like the master of Disney, Master Yen Sid. It's okay. Oh, yeah. Don't worry. So he goes to train with him because he's like, he trained Mickey and stuff. Next game comes along, and it has quite possibly the most confusing title out of any game in known existence ever. Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. That is 358 over 2, like divided by 2 days, but it's pronounced 358 Days Over 2.
Why? Why is it called this?
So it's called this because the game takes place over 358 days by 2 people. So it's called 358 Days Over 2. I have it right here, and you can see. I'm going to show you the cover because it needs to be seen to be believed. This game's cover. Where is this? Oh, where is it? Oh, do I not have it? Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
That's fine. But regardless, I just wanted you. I wanted to show you how it looks. The numbers 3.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, just look up the title of this game. Just type in 358 Days Over 2, and you'll see. Because it needs to be seen to be believed. Days Over 2, right there. Wait till you see this game title. It's when I first saw it, I. 358 Days Over 2.
What? But it's 3-5 days.
No, I know. It's
2 days.
358 over 2 days is what it should be. But it's actually pronounced 358 Days Over 2. That is the proper pronunciation.
That is quite something.
That's quite a title, isn't it? And would you believe that that's actually the fixed version? Originally, it was 358 over 2 with the 2 under it. Like, it looked worse. So, yes. So that is a DS game. that basically details the time before Kingdom Hearts 2 where Roxas lived as a member of the organization.
Okay.
Where he was literally, one day he woke up and was like, I exist in this world now.
Yeah.
And the organization's like, hey, buddy, want some friends? And he's like, I mean, I guess. And so he basically joins this organization and solves a bunch of missions. But because they're like, hey, you have a Keyblade, don't you? And he's like, yeah, I don't know what this is. Because this takes place right after Kingdom Hearts 1 where Sora turns into a Heartless. As soon as that happens, Roxas is just born into the world. Fully grown, he's there, and he's like, I don't have friends, I don't know what's going on. So he joins the organization, even though they're bad guys, he doesn't know. But he's there, and all of a sudden, one day, a mysterious girl appears. Now, she also uses a Keyblade. The exact same Keyblade he uses. And he's like, that's a bit weird, but then again, I'm a newborn baby, so I don't know much of the world. Maybe it's just normal.
And this is Roxas?
This is Roxas, okay. Yeah, so blonde hair kid. So he's all like, he's going there, and he actually befriends the red-haired guy who's the trader of the castle, Axel. He befriends him, and they actually, after every mission, go up to a clock tower, and they eat sea salt ice cream, which is a blue, sort of popsicle pretty much. And the only reason that is what they eat is because they sell that at Disneyland in Tokyo. So, it's a bit of marketing. Apparently, it's really good, though.
Okay.
So, it's kind of like a Peace Walker mission-based thing where it's, you just do lots of small missions and stuff, and then as you do the missions, it leads up to the plot. But as it goes on, Roxas 1, he can no longer use the Keyblade at a certain point. He's like, I can't do the flick of the wrist and it doesn't appear anymore. What's happening? And so the girl, who's his friend now and can use the Keyblade, she's like, it's okay, I'll just do it. Her name is Xion. Xion. One thing to note about the organization, all of their names have the letter X in it. I want you to just picture the word Sora for me for a second, okay? S-O-R-A.
Yeah.
Add the letter X in there and rearrange it. R-O-X-A-S.
Oh.
The name Roxas is Sora rearranged with the letter X added. All of the organization members, their original names before they became nobodies, was take out the X and rearrange their name. So Axel, A-X-E-L, was Lee, L-E-A. Or Saix, S-A-I-X, was Isa, I-S-A. Okay. So basically when you die, your name gets, when you get reborn with a new name, rearranged with letter X. I'm going to skip ahead now and tell you why the letter X is important, because this is the dumbest plot point in the entire series, of which I love. The true villain of the series has ownership of the letter X. He can... The letter X is an ancient symbol called the recusant sigil, which he has the power to track. So at any time, he can track anything with the letter X in it because it is his sigil. Meaning, when he renames these people to have the letter X in their name, he can follow them and trace them. At one point in the series, Sora gets an outfit with two straps that cross in the shape of an X on it. And that's how he can tell Sora's every move, because this villain controls the letter X. This sounds like I'm making stuff up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
It does, doesn't it? I can't wait for the comments to say everything he's saying is true. I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't been talking much about Disney, have I?
No,
it's very not Disney related.
Wow.
So okay. So,
this is like a trip.
Oh, yes. So, Roxas and this girl are all doing stuff, but at one point, some of the organization members are starting to
get over the X thing.
I know, that's the best plot point. I had to say it now because it's one of the best things. Yeah. So, at one point, all the organization members start getting mad at this girl because they're like, I don't like you. I don't like you at all. And one of the guys is just like, I hate your face. I hate your face so much. I hate everything about your face. Your face reminds me of him.
Who's him?
So, here's the thing. Xion, this character, is actually a nameless puppet.
What?
It's a nameless puppet that is actually during the course of Chain of Memories, you know how Sora's memories were being taken away?
Yeah.
They were being put into her. Through the course of the game, she transitions into Sora.
How?
It's okay.
She transitions? What are you talking about? Like,
she starts
up? Turns into Sora?
Yeah, at one point. So, for most people, when...
Or, like, just phases into Sora.
So, here's the thing. Because, okay, you know how in Persona, there's, like, the idea of, like, the perceived world?
Yeah.
So, everyone perceives her differently based on Sora's memories. Most people just see, when they look at her, literally a faceless person in a hood. They don't see anyone. Roxas sees basically a black hair version of Kairi because he's taking back Sora's memories of Kairi. But for some reason, this one guy sees a kid who looks like Roxas, but isn't.
Okay.
Because Roxas... Okay, we'll get to that. Oh my god, we still have to go through Birth by Sleep. Okay, but you get to the end of the game, and, Roxas runs out of the organization because he's like, these guys are the bad guys. I don't want to be a bad guy. And you run out, and that's actually where you actually get to do the fight. No, I'm skipping ahead. He runs out of there, and then he goes up to the clock tower where he always ate ice cream with Axel and Shion. And Shion's up there, but she's wearing the black hood. And you're like, okay, why is she wearing the hood? And so he's like, I'm fed up with this world. And then he's going to go kill himself because that's a Disney thing to do. And so then Shion's like, no, don't do it. Although I don't really need you anymore. And Roxas is like, yo, what? And she takes off her hood and she's Sora.
Wait.
She's fully transitioned into Sora now.
Wait, so where's the other Sora?
Sora's right now sleeping. He's in the 3-year sleep.
Oh, okay.
So she takes off the hood and she is now Sora.
Is the old Sora like gone now, or are there two Soras now?
There are technically two Soras at this moment. Yes. So, and then Roxas is like, that's weird. And so, no,
that's weird.
So literally she has Sora's face, but a girl's body and voice.
Well, how do memories like change her face?
So you actually have a big old boss fight where she transforms into a giant Final Fantasy final boss.
Wait, now she's evil?
Yes. It's okay. So you do.
Why do you fight her?
Well, because actually she needs to be put out of her misery. Okay. Because she shouldn't exist. Okay. She even says, like, I literally should not exist. I am a horrible thing. And so Roxas goes and kills her, and then she like falls down and she like dies in his arms. But because she's kind of, all the memories go back with her, his memories leave also. So then he doesn't even remember who she is after this. So Roxas gets like, he gets sad. He just killed kind of one of his best friends, but he doesn't know why he's sad. He's like, something happened and I'm super sad and angry and I don't know why. So he runs out of there. He runs to where the one cutscene at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 happens, where now though he can use 2 Keyblades because he takes back Shion's Keyblade. And so then he goes and fights Riku, who's up there, and you actually get to do the fight, and it's a super cool Musou moment where you get to like spin them around and you're killing all these dudes and it's awesome. Endgame, where Riku knocks him out, and Riku's like, okay, we need you to like stay alive and not kill people until Sora gets his memories back. So they go and put him into the virtual world of Kingdom Hearts 2, and that's where that starts.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, Birth by Sleep. This is basically Kingdom Hearts 0. Takes place way before all this stuff happened. So it's this one is the one
before the island got destroyed.
Yes, way before, like as in like 20 years before.
Okay.
So this one is pretty much, people say if you're going to play one, like this is the one that's the most standalone and like works as kind of a standalone work, although the implications of it are very important, but it's like it's pretty far from the rest of it. So it starts off with basically 3 Keyblade wielders are going to take the test to become Keyblade Masters by like their old master Ericus, whose name is Square rearranged, because Square Enix, of course. He represents the lead of Square Enix, where Yen Sid, which is Disney rearranged, represents the head of Disney kind of much, right? Okay. You know, also of note, the island where that gets blown up at the beginning is called Destiny Islands. If you rearrange the letters, it's Disneyland.
Huh.
Kingdom Hearts is really big on rearranging letters. I
can see that becoming a plot point.
Oh yes.
Is it actually?
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes. Well, we already talked about the rearranging with the letter X.
I guess, but like, I mean, in like more of a location. Wise.
Little bit. So the three people who are there is Tara, who's this, older guy in a mullet, and he's looks kind of nice, but you can tell he could be a little evil maybe. He's not the best. The other one is a kid named Ventus, who looks like Roxas. Exactly. Looks exactly like Roxas. And you're like, what? Why is this? It's not Roxas. Looks like him. And then the last one is Aqua. She's the girl.
So what game are we at right now?
Birth by Sleep, okay. Which was on the PSP.
Okay.
So then they're going to do their test to see who's going to become the master. And they're like, Ericus, who's voiced by Mark Hamill, comes in and is like, Luke Skywalker, yeah. He comes in and is like, we have an esteemed guest here, Master Xehanort, which is a pretty obvious villain name, but that's okay. So he comes in and he's voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
Really?
Yeah, wow. He has such a good voice. So he comes in, and during the fight, he's like, I gave you dark powers, Tara. You're to now use them in the fight and get disqualified. So Tara's like, raw darkness. And then Master Ericus is like, sorry, dude, you used darkness. Aqua's the only master now because you used darkness. You would have got it, but you did the darkness. You did the bad thing. And then Tara's like, I hate you, Dad. And he actually goes and runs away, and Ventus runs away. And Aqua's like, I gotta go get my babies back. And so then it's all going all these places. And then I just remembered Vanitas. Oh, God. So then there's also this other kid in a black, you might have seen the Daft Punk looking guy in the trailers. He's kind of he was in the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. Looks like he wears like a Daft Punk helmet.
No.
Okay. It's okay. So his name is Vanitas, and you see him and you're like, oh, he's the same voice actor as Sora. That's a little weird. And so he's like kind of like the bodyguard for Xehanort, who's the bad guy kind of. Yeah. And it's revealed like, yeah, he's pretty much the bad guy. And so he's there, and it's explained that one day this mysterious boy washed up into our world named Ventus. And so Xehanort found him and is like, that's cool, but you're not evil enough. So let's split you in two. And
what?
It's okay. You can just do that, I guess. And so the evil half of you becomes this guy Vanitas, and then here's Ventus, and he's kind of an empty shell who's drooling in the corner. We don't talk about him. But then the drooling in the corner one is the one that actually becomes friends with the other group later. But so there's the evil half of him is named Vanitas, and he's there. And at one point, he takes off the mask, and it's Sora's face under there, but he has black hair. And I don't know why he looks like Sora. Actually, I do, kind of. At one point, so the way Keyblades work is you are basically chosen at birth to be, like, if you're going to be a Keyblade wielder or not. So then you need to find a master who then, basically bequeaths a Keyblade onto you.
Okay.
At one point in Birth by Sleep, all three characters go to the island that Kingdom Hearts 1 starts on, and they find a 5-year-old Sora, Riku, and Kairi just there. Oh, not Kairi. She's in another place. But regardless. And then all three characters are like, hey, you look like a good kid. You want a Keyblade when you grow up? And they're like, what's a Keyblade? And it's like, cool. And then they give them the Keyblades. And so then when they kind of, not really pass on, but they don't need the Keyblade anymore, then they'll get the Keyblades. So that's why all three of them can use Keyblades.
Okay.
So at one point, actually, I do know exactly why Vanitas looks like Sora. Because at one point, so normally Vanitas is like a headless, like he doesn't have a face. He's like darkness in a kind of a bottle, if you will, but he's like in a suit. So at one point, Sora finds the kind of comatose Ventus, and this is him as a kid. And Sora's like, hey, mister, what's wrong? And Vanitas there's, like he's out of it, right?
Yeah.
And so Sora's like, well, I'm going to give you a hug. And when he does that, he gives half of his heart to Vanitas.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, hey, don't worry, you can take half my heart. It's cool. So then Vanitas now is able to do all this stuff because he has half of Sora's heart in him. And that's why Vanitas looks like an older Sora.
Oh, okay.
So all this stuff happens. At one point, Xehanort is like, I must get a vessel to be my next body because this one's growing frail and old. So he's like, Tara, guess what? You're the new Xehanort. So then he puts his body in Terra. And then when Terra's hair turns gray and his eyes turn gold, it suddenly clicks for people. Oh, geez, that's a young version of the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1. Because normally he has brown hair and, like, normal, like, blue eyes. And otherwise he looks normal. But when he gets possessed, you notice that, oh no, that's the exact same hairdo as the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1. So by possessing him, he basically becomes the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1 by moving on his body.
Huh.
So then, but then after he gets possessed, so basically in this game, all of them have Keyblade armor. So like they have like little shoulder pads. If they hit them, they can turn into like armor versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's like Iron Man pretty much, where you hit it and it's like it turns on the armor. But so you do all the big fights, boss fights in that armor. After Terra gets possessed, his armor, through will alone, continues to fight with no one inside. And it's the hypest thing. And so here's the thing. You fight that armor set, right? Or you fight as that armor set, and then it gets kind of bested and just resting on its Keyblade in nowhere. In Kingdom Hearts 2, so we're going back a bit, you can find that armor and fight it as the hidden bonus boss.
Oh my god. And
it's super hype. So Terra basically gets turned into the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay.
Ventus gets his, he gets his heart back taken out, and then he's back to being a comatose little useless baby child. His soul then goes back to Sora. And remember, Ventus looks like Roxas. So that's why Sora's nobody looks like Ventus.
Oh.
Because it's not his nobody, it's actually Ventus's nobody. Aqua gets trapped in the realm of darkness, and that's about it. So all of them.
Aqua?
She's the girl of the group. Remember I said there was a girl of the group? Yeah. So
sorry.
Basically...
It's hard to follow sometimes.
Wait till I bring out the flowcharts. So basically,
what?
all of them get completely screwed up. They all suck. But so the one thing that they're trying to do, the villain of this one, Xehanort, he's trying to
still
make...
in Birth by Sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
He's trying to create... Now stick with me here. The Keyblade. Now this is not a Keyblade. This is the Greek letter Key, which is an X. So there's a Greek letter that's the shape of an X called Key. So it looks like the X blade, but that's a Greek letter. So it's the Keyblade. All right?
What? What?
Okay, so the letter X in Greek is pronounced Key.
Key.
So this is the Greek letter X blade. So it is the Keyblade.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the Keyblade. And remember, because that has the letter X, the villain can track it.
The Keyblade.
The Keyblade. So he's trying to get the Keyblade because it has the power to basically destroy the world. And it looks like it's the dumbest looking thing ever, where it's like, imagine holding a hand. You know what the Keyblade looks like, right?
Yeah.
Imagine holding the handle of the Keyblade, and then from the Keyblade is like 3 more Keyblades coming out of that Keyblade, and it ends in like 1,000,000 Keyblades all combined into a giant sword. It's stupid. But this thing can destroy the world, so they have to stop it.
I see this thing.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Okay. So, God, where to even go from here?
How many more games are there?
2.5, kind of. So
okay, yeah, of course.
Okay, yes, right. So it turns out that when Xehanort dies, he becomes so you know how I said that yes, that's it.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool, but it's kind of dumb. So you know how I said that the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1 was Ansem?
Yeah.
That was actually Terra Xehanort, not the real Ansem. Because there was a researcher named Ansem, who was actually the red robe guy voiced by Christopher Lee. Yes. I'm just trying to wrap my brain on where to go with this. From here on out, I'm not really even going to go in super chronological order. I'm just going to drop plot bombs, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so number 1, you asked me what happens when a nobody dies, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kill a person, they get split into a heartless and a nobody. You kill the heartless, you kill the nobody, they get reborn as the original one. So meaning, Remember in Kingdom Hearts 1, how you killed the Heartless of the bad guy, and in Kingdom Hearts 2, you killed the Nobody of the bad guy? That caused the original body of him to be reborn.
And this is
now 3. This is leading up to 3.
No, like, who's the character?
Oh, Xehanort.
Xehanort, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like the main antagonist?
Yes. So this is literally like all the Kingdom Hearts games are under, it's called the Xehanort Saga, because it all is about him.
Okay.
So, oh my god, I just remembered.
Like, where are the hell the Disney characters in this?
So that's the thing. The Disney aspect is really in the background.
Okay.
You go through Disney worlds, there are Disney characters, but that is like such a not plot important thing. Well, there are some some interesting stuff that happens in the Disney worlds. Like in the first Kingdom Hearts game, Hades needs to hire a hero to beat up Hercules, so he hires Cloud.
Huh.
Yeah, and Cloud's like, whatever, it's money. And so you fight him, and he's actually wearing... So it's Cloud, but he's wearing the clothing of Vincent, another character from Final Fantasy VII. So it's kind of weird. But then come Kingdom Hearts 2, you find Cloud, and he's wearing now his Advent Children outfit, so the alternate costume in Smash.
Yeah.
And you find him, and you're like, hey, Cloud, what's up? And he's like, yeah, not to be a big deal or anything, but like my greatest villain, Sephiroth, is running around, and it's kind of bad. So you find Sephiroth, and basically...
Oh, isn't this guy, like, really difficult?
Oh, he's Kingdom Hearts has brutal bonus bosses.
Okay.
So you fight Sephiroth, and then Cloud and Sephiroth are both, like, fighting, and then they disappear in the sky, and Tifa's there, and she's like, well, we'll see them in another world. One day. So there's like little plot lines always everywhere, but it's not like main plot important.
What's next?
Okay, so the next game, this one I have very little to say about, thankfully. It's called Recoded. R-E-Coded. It was a 3DS game, and this one is actually a port of a mobile phone game from Japan for the DS.
Okay.
So, this one's really easy. Basically, at the end of Kingdom Hearts, at the end of Chain of Memories, when Sora gets his memories erased, Jiminy Cricket... Oh, I didn't even tell you that Jiminy Cricket is always with Sora. So Jiminy Cricket is always journeying with Sora.
Okay.
He basically keeps like the bestiary and like all the records for the game, right? Yeah. So at the end of Chain of Memories, it's like he opens up his journal from the first game and he's like, "Oh, everything's gone," and it's because they're losing their memories, right? So that wouldn't be a big plot point, but apparently they needed a whole game to discuss why this journal had lost everything. So basically, RE-coded. Jiminy's like, I want to get all my stuff back from my journal. And so he takes it to King Mickey, who's back as the king of Disney Castle, and they're working on a machine to digitize the journal and go fix the viruses in it. Because apparently they put viruses in it somehow. So they create a data replica of Sora to go in and replay all the Disney worlds. And it's because it was a mobile game, right? So this was basically like a way to play this game portably on.
Okay.
And so it's not a big deal, this one. The only plot point is that this is actually kind of crazy. At the end of the game, you get to play a remake of Chain of Memories, but it's like, because it is a digital version of it, because it's in the digital world, it doesn't render properly, as they say.
Oh, that's how they get around it?
So no. So you go do it, but it's like all glitchy and like everything takes place in one room instead of going through multiple layers of the castle, and like it's a weird trippy way to end the game. And you basically beat the game by defeating a data version of Sora's Heartless. So that game is nothing important happens in it. It is so not important. Okay. Thank God. After this comes...
Is it the final game?
This is the final full game. Yes.
Okay.
Which is Dream Drop Distance for the 3DS.
Yeah.
So this is like canonically the last game. So it is when...
Or the most recent.
No, it's canonically the last one.
Like
until
after
3.
3?
No, until 3.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Most
recent.
So, as in, what happens is Sora and Riku are like, okay, we gotta go train because Xehanort, the bad guy, is back. He's back, he's at full power, and, we gotta because they say at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1, it's like, I'm a Keyblade Master, and then it's revealed, like, no, you're not a Keyblade Master, you're a Keyblade user. To be a Master, you have to pass the test of mastery. So Sora and Riku are like, okay, let's do this test of mastery, whatever. So the way it works is what they do is Yen Sid is like, okay, I'm going to take you, and you're going to go into these dream versions of worlds that got destroyed. And I want you to try and restore them. Because these worlds fell to darkness. They got destroyed much like your island. And so let's try and come up with ways to get them back. And if you can bring back the destroyed worlds, then congrats, you're Keyblade Master. If not, whatever, you can try again later. So you go do this. And for some reason, the dream versions of Sora and Riku are back to their kid forms. And they're like, that's weird, I'm young. And they also got new outfits, which doesn't seem like it would be a plot point. But it is. So, and as you're going through, at a certain point, it's like, hey, we've lost contact with Yensid. This is a bit weird. Why can't we talk to him? Oh, well, it's probably part of the test. And so you play through The World Ends With You world. You play through Tron. You play through all this stuff, right? And it's pretty standard fare. But at a certain point, this one mysterious guy in another black robe, because of course it's always in the black robe, he comes out and he has Xehanort's Keyblade. And you're like, what? You're not Xehanort. Why do you have his Keyblade? And he's going on about, oh, everything you know is a lie. You're falling into darkness, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, whatever. Keeps going. They get to like the final world, and the final world it's the villain's hideout from Kingdom Hearts 2. And they're like, this world still exists. How come we're in a dream version of it if it's not destroyed? Well, now they're back in the real world, and they don't even know it.
Huh.
Because the whole time, the villains have been guiding them along this journey, which was supposed to be a test. They're like, nope, we hijacked you, and now you're doing all our bidding for us. And it's because, while they were being transported to this new world, they got new outfits. They have the letters X's on them.
Oh my god.
And so the young guy who's been coming around with them is revealed to have been a young version of Xehanort, the bad guy. Not when he's an old man, but when he was young. And so you're like, how are you here? How are you young in here? And he's like, yeah, bro, I have time travel powers. So then it's revealed that, you kill the organization in Kingdom Hearts 2. They're gone. They're out of here. He's like, that's okay. Those guys didn't work out very well. I'm going to make a new organization. But you know what? I can't trust other people. So I'm going to make an organization that's all me.
Huh.
So the organization, which is now called the True Organization 13, is made up of the young version of him, the old version of him, the version of him which is his nobody, the version of him which is his heartless. All these. There's 13 versions of him because he's like, he can't trust anybody else. So then you run into one of the other organization guys who didn't like get turned back to basically be good.
Yeah.
And so you run into him and you're like, hey, wait, why are you alive? Why are you here? And so then you look and you're like, why do you have gold eyes now? Because one thing about Xehanort is he always has white hair and gold eyes. And he says, he basically says the line that everyone kind of cried and laughed at, which is, Sora, I'm already half Xehanort. So he's basically creating an organization of people that is himself through different points in time, and people who are being genetically changed into him. So
they're going to be the villains in 3?
Yes. So, but along the way, Sora at this point realizes, I have a bunch of people inside of me.
Okay, go on.
So basically, he has inside of him, at this current moment, Roxas, Ventus, Xion, half of Kyrie's heart. And in Kingdom Hearts 1, you do get the line where Sora says, Kyrie's inside me, which is a wonderful line read. He has all these people inside of him. And so he's like, I gotta try and get him out. And at the end of it, though, he basically gets like, okay, so Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance takes place in a dream, right?
Yeah.
At the end of it, he actually gets placed in... he falls asleep in the dream world. And he dreams within the dream. And in that dream within a dream, Riku dives into his dream within a dream because you dive into the dreams to basically save him because he's fallen into darkness. And you fight a demon version of Ventus's armor. And Sora then gets placed on a throne with the rest of the organization members because he's being converted into a Xehanort. And Riku's like, not if I have anything to do about it, and he stops him, right?
Yeah.
But, so yeah, it's Sora actually fails his Mark of Mastery test because he fell to darkness.
Yeah.
Riku becomes a Keyblade Master. He survives. It's all good. So, but yeah, then it's revealed, so not only is Xehanort back, but he's making like 12 other versions of himself that we have to stop. And so they kind of have to train up for that. During this time, it's revealed that, you know how I said when a nobody dies, if they're strong enough, then they reunite with their Heartless that's been killed to become themselves again.
Yeah.
So all those nobodies you killed in, like all the organization members in the Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
They're back to being their human selves. Which means they're back to being good. Most of them.
Okay.
So Axel, the guy with the red hair who was the traitor of the castle, he appears and he's like, man, I don't have any magic anymore because I'm no longer nobody. Sure would be nice if I could save someone. Boom, he gets a Keyblade. And he's like, I don't know why I have this. And everyone's like, Axel, why do you have a Keyblade? He's like, my name's not Axel anymore, it's Lee. And everyone calls him Axel because they know him as Axel, but his original name was Lee. And then at one point Sora's like, Axel, come help me. And he's like, actually, whatever, never mind, it's Axel, whatever. And he says it like that, which is great. But so, yeah, he gets a Keyblade. I don't know why. That one makes no sense. End of the game. You get the bonus scene, which has basically Riku diving into Sora's heart, and in his heart looks like Destiny Islands, the islands from the first game. And on it, you see Roxas, Ventus, and Xion, who are all trapped inside of his heart, and they ask you questions, and if you answer all the right questions correctly, you get a bonus ending. That's right. If you answer the questions wrong, you don't get the bonus ending.
Huh.
It's great. Good job. So, then... This, like, the second last scene of the series, pretty much. You basically get, Yen Sid is like, okay, we got one Keyblade Master, but to beat up all these dudes who are going to be the villains, we should kind of fulfill that prophecy that talked about the 7 lights fighting the 13 darknesses. Because there's 13 darknesses, but we have 3 lights. 4 if you count Mickey. What should we do if only there was 3 other people who we could save? It's the Birth by Sleep characters.
Oh.
So, basically, they're like, okay, we gotta go train up. And then Kairi's like, then they're like, yeah, we're gonna train Kairi, because she can use a Keyblade, but she can't, like, use it well. So we're gonna train her in doing that, so... That's like pretty much like the second last scene before Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay, last game is 0.2, which is kind of like the ground zeros for 3, which was included with 2.8.
Okay.
Oh yeah, by the way, the games are available in 1.5, 2.5,
I've always wondered
2.8.
Why are they called that?
Okay, so 1.5 is basically every game from 1 to just before 2. So you got 1, you got Chain of Memories, which are both like full playable games. Though Chain of Memories is not the Game Boy Advance version, it's a redone like HD PS3 version, pretty much. And then you get a movie version of 358 Days Over 2.
Okay.
So you get that one because it's not so important for gameplay. It's like you just get a movie of that.
Okay.
It's painful to watch, but if you need the plot, you can get it. 2.5 is Birth by Sleep, 2, and a movie version of Coded, which is the digital game.
Okay.
So you get all those. 2.8 was basically, they said, you know, we kind of have 2 games left over, and I guess we can also throw in like a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3. So it's kind of like you got an HD version of Dream Drop Distance, you got a movie version of the mobile game, which I'm not even going to get into.
Okay.
Because I haven't played that one. That's a whole other bucket of fish. I can't even get into that. And then they put in 0.2, which is pretty much, it's the ground zeros for 3. It's a short campaign, but it shows off what 3 is going to be like.
Okay.
So, Basically, it takes place after Birth by Sleep, where Aqua, because she gets trapped in the realm of darkness, and she's basically walking through there, having big suicidal attacks, where she's like walking through, and the phrase that gets me is, oh yeah, every step I take in this realm of darkness, because time's wonky, about 1,000,000 years could pass when I take a step, I don't know, time's weird. So she's walking around, and she's like, boy, it sure would suck if everything I love is dead. And so she runs around, and then she finds Mickey there, and she's like, Mickey Mouse, what are you doing in the realm of darkness? and Mickey's like, we gotta get you out to the real world, Aqua. And so you get to the end, and which is like, you get to the door of darkness where Mickey was like, he appeared at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh, and there's a wonderful continuity thing where throughout the whole game, Mickey wears like clothing that looks like a bit like Sora's outfit, right?
Yeah.
But when you meet him in Kingdom Hearts 1, he is, like, when you see him in a silhouette form, he's very clearly wearing his classic just red pants and no shirt.
Yeah.
In a cutscene, he loses his clothes in 0.2 to make sure that it makes sense continuity-wise why Mickey Mouse was shirtless for that one scene. So you get to the end, and you see Riku trying to close the door to darkness, and then there's all these bad guys gonna get them. So Aqua's like, no, you go fight with Riku. I'm going to stay in the realm of darkness to make sure anyone who comes in here can find their way out. So then she locks herself in the realm of darkness, and that's why in Kingdom Hearts 3, you gotta go save her from that.
Oh, okay.
So it's a short demo.
So where's Sora at this point in time?
Okay, during the point of 0.2?
Yeah.
So he's on the other side of the door of darkness, because it takes place right at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, where they both shut the door on both sides.
Okay.
So all I'm going to say is in the mobile game, it's about a Keyblade war. Where basically all these people, back when Keyblades were a dime a dozen, everyone had at least a couple. All these kids basically got together and they formed unions and stuff. And they were told like, hey, if you break the union, we're going to kill you. So you got to make sure not to do it. But then there was a traitor among them. And so basically all these kids start killing each other with Keyblades. And when I say kids, I mean like they're 11 and 12. And so it's a big war of children killing each other.
What the hell?
Yeah. So that's about it as a brief overview. I did it. Okay, listen to this. I did it in about an hour. There are multiple 3 to 4 hour lectures on YouTube about the in-depth plot analysis of Kingdom Hearts, because there are plot points I didn't even address.
Oh my god.
So now you're prepared to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh. Wow. That was a trip.
It's like, so again,
who comes up with this shit?
Tetsuya Nomura, the guy who designs Final Fantasy characters. Like, you know the guy...
There's like long pauses in this episode.
You know the guy who did, like, you know, every character's Smash Bros. Poster for the newcomers?
Yeah.
The guy who drew Clouds, which has Cloud and Link fighting.
Yeah.
That's Tetsuya Nomura. He is normally just an artist for Square Enix. They decided to give him full creative control of the Kingdom Hearts series, which means not only does every character wear multiple belts and zippers, including, you know Goofy's neighbor Pete?
Yes.
He wears a darkness outfit with a zipper that goes from the front of his belly down his crotch all the way up his back. He has an ass zipper because Nomura demands it.
And Disney stuff. It's
there.
But why is it there if it doesn't play a huge part?
Okay, so this game was originally created when a CEO of Disney got in an elevator with the CEO of Square Enix, and they said, "Hey, what if we just combined it? Would that be funny?" And then this Disney guy was like, "That's a good idea. Let's do it." And then Nomura was like, Nomura originally was like, "I got this." And before keys, take a guess what weapon of choice we were going to use in Kingdom Hearts. Take a wild guess. Chainsaws.
There's
art of Sora originally, who he originally had like lion ears and a tail because furry, I guess. And he was originally going to use a chainsaw, to which he actually brought it up to Disney, and Disney said no. Yeah. So the Disney aspect, I mean, it is there because for the most of the game you're running through Disney worlds. There's usually 2 or 3 original worlds. Main crux of the game. But the main crux is go to a Disney world, solve the problem, and then fight a Heartless that's behind it. Or, for example, in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's about saving the princesses, because you gotta save them, including Kairi, So, the Disney is there, but in the overall mythos, Disney is not super important.
Oh, okay.
The original characters kind of transcend the Disney, other than Mickey, who's very entwined with the story.
Watch him be like the final boss in 3.
Oh, man. Well, people think Mickey might be playable in 3, which would be cool, because he was playable in a couple instances, and he basically plays like Yoda from Soul Calibur, where he just like flips around doing cool stuff. So yeah, Goofy dies at one point.
What?
In Kingdom Hearts 2, Goofy briefly dies, and then he gets brought back, and literally it's at one point Goofy a rock falls on Goofy's head and he dies. Why? And Sora is like, my friend is dead! And then he goes and you do the Battle of 1,000 Heartless, where it is like a Muso game for a short amount of time, where you're in a valley with 1,000 Heartless and have to kill them all in anger.
Oh my god.
And then Goofy's like, no, it's okay, I'm good. And then Sora's like, no, Goofy. I'm gonna Google Goofy dies right now, and you're gonna see the exact picture that happens.
Oh god.
It is. It's not even a joke. It's not even Goofy dies. Okay, here we go. Come on, load internet. I'm gonna go on to 3G because it's gonna take too long because my internet is not having a good time down here. All right, Goofy. Let's see you dead. Kingdom Hearts 2. Goofy's death. He's dead. So literally, Goofy jumps in the way of a rock and dies.
Doesn't even play into a part of the main story.
It does, because then you do the Battle of 1,000 Heartless, which is actually pretty dope.
But that doesn't, contribute anything.
No, it's an event that happens, but... Okay.
I think my mind is blown enough.
Field me any questions.
Oh my god.
Any questions.
I have a headache. That's why I have a headache. I don't even know where to begin. I don't think I have any questions because
there's too much to parse.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say, this series is hot garbage in the greatest of ways. It is it's such a fun train wreck to be in. Mind you, the gameplay is awesome, but the story is the most convoluted garbage ever. That I love it. It's so good. I'm gonna pull up some charts for you that I have that I've posted because they are magical on showing just how all characters are related and stuff. And I've never actually played Kingdom Hearts, but this supremely powerful image tells me I can't handle what they're selling, which is a picture of Mickey wearing the Cloak of Darkness. So let me just look for someone retweeted a bunch of charts showing character relations, and they are right here. Here's the Sora tree. Here's all the people related to Sora.
So which one's Roxanne?
Okay, so Roxas is
sorry.
Number 9 there. That's Roxas.
Okay.
So here's Sora. He's number 7. Here's young Sora. Here's Ventus. Here's Vanitas. But no, here's Vanitas fused with Ventus. That's Vanitas. See, it's like Dark Sora.
Okay.
So normally he's wearing Daft Punk helmet. right there.
Okay.
So this is, so you see he gets kind of split in two, and then he gets put into young Sora, and here's young Sora here. He gets turned into a Heartless, but then he gets put back into them. See, he also has multiple Kairis in him. Kairi gets here's Naminé, who's young, and then there's old Naminé, but Naminé is actually gets turned into Kairi with Kairi to make sure that the memories go back. So here's Roxas. Here's Sora. Sora gets older, and then he gets younger again.
Why?
Because that's Dream. And so here's
Right, okay.
here's Xion, who gets turned into Sora. And then but most people see her as like that. So that's here's the Xehanort tree now. So here's the big bad Xehanort. He's Leonard Nimoy. He gets his Keyblade. Then he takes over Terra, which is here. Terra gets turned. He goes into like this is him older.
Yeah.
And then he turns into the nobody villain. But this is the real Ansem, not the one that we thought it was. He's a good guy. But then he sort of hides himself as a black guy, which I don't know why he gets black skin when he's in this outfit. It's a little weird, but it's okay. It's a bit of blackface. So yeah, Terra here. So he gets separated into that's his armor, which moves on without him.
Okay.
There's young Riku. Riku gets older. Riku gets bad. Riku turns into big scary black guy, but then it's okay. He's cool. He's a teenager now. We don't see the other forms of him in this. Here's another tree depicting all the characters and their relationships with each other.
Oh my god.
With multiple paragraphs for each character. And yeah. Kingdom Hearts is light.
I think that's where she ended off.
Thank you for listening to Tanner Explains Kingdom Hearts in an Hour.
I am a puddle of flesh.
I will say, if you ever see 1.5 and 2.5 on sale at EB Games, that's a good deal for 3 really good games.
One of my coworkers, he is obsessed with the series, and he always sells the games the day of they come to the store.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
See if you can ask him to reserve you a copy, because, it's a ride. It's a fun ride.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm speechless.
Yep. So, thank you for listening to our hour-long Puddlecast.
You wrap it up, because
I don't have much to say other than let's close the door to darkness.
Okay, bye.
You are broken. Wow. Oh wait, just wait till Kingdom Hearts 3, because Marvel is involved.
Speaking of Marvel,
Big Hero 6
next week.
Yes. All right.
We will be
next week. We're probably gonna do a Phase 1 recap cast,
and I'll talk a lot more.
Yes,
a lot more.
Yes, for sure. So we'll see you.
It'll take a week to recover from this week.
We'll see you next week for that, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
Bye.
Did I live in a kingdom of thieves and people who say things they don't really mean. Oh, you're only everything I ever dreamed of. You must be kidding me. Did you really think I could say no? I want you for a lifetime, so if you're gonna think twice, baby, I don't wanna know, baby, I don't wanna know. Everything is just right, but if you're gonna think twice, baby, I don't wanna know, baby, I don't wanna know.
このキーブレードはもう使えない。だからここに残していくよ。もう一人の俺のために。